cool. Now everyone can hear us, and we're on. Hello. Welcome to Here one last time. In the last session, for some of us, we played through some individual scenarios. For the last session, for others of us, we were all together and got blown up. So just to wait through the gifted subs, thank you very much, Praise Scepter. It's really funny. You sniped a couple people. Oh, you sniped Itro. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Cool. Does that even play an alert? Wait, does it? It doesn't. Cool. That's broken. I appreciate that as well.
I was about to resub too.
Nah, IT's here.
I already did the resub during the intro.
Why doesn't that play? Well, just assume each of these like chained subs is telling you that you're great and I love you and all that stuff. Okay, thank you IT as well for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. I love you too. This we're just gonna wait through these, I guess. Oh, you know what? I think it says, whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you so much for each one of them.
Yeah, that sounds right. I remember that one.
Hey, whoa, 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 whoa.
All right, now it's playing them. Great.
Holy snap.
Thank you so much.
All right,
so
you know
much.
what's next? It's the
No.
bit spam.
No bit spam. That better be off. Because I do know that it's set to be like, oh yeah, sure, 1 bit. Let's make some noise.
Guess where you're putting those bits?
I'm not gonna put them in my butt. Okay, cool. So now then, to recap what occurred.
I'm not gonna put these bits in my butt.
Sorry,
Thank
not
you,
sorry.
What are we calling them? Protagonists, not heroes. Honk. The protagonists found themselves underneath the monolith, underneath the sigil or whatever. They honk. They followed. Well, I guess technically they stepped over the P trail and went down into the underneath, and they found the base of the monolith raised up a little bit. They started doing some research into what the heck was happening. While they were down there, several people started coming down a tunnel, a path, the same path that they had taken. Honk. So they decided to split up. They split up. Some of them hid. Some of them were trying to delay, whatever. Honk. And while they were split and everything, the Iatudi, the king's son, and a bunch of thugs took Rue to the side, told Rue to stay put. Iatudi walks up to the monolith, puts his hand on the monolith, begins to summon in multiple, basically mercenaries, soldiers, something like that, over and over and over, to the point where it became like concerning, right? Like there were too many people arriving for nefarious, probably, circumstances, right? So the party decided to act. They attempted to stop him from summoning more people, and also against overwhelming, unsurmountable odds, were like, well, we're gonna try and stop this party from happening. During which the Grand Marshal touched the monolith in order to amp up a spell after seeing it occur from Iatudi, who attempted to blast Ricky in the face. Well, not attempted, blasted Ricky in the face with a giant gout of fire that basically punched through the sand above them as well. And then so Grand Marshal was touching the monolith, Iatudi is touching the monolith. Grand Marshal casts a spell against Iatudi. Iatudi attempted to block it or resist or whatever, and created this sort of magical feedback loop with a mechanic that I revealed last time, but I will reveal to all of you again, that basically blew up the entire space, like in a huge, like several, I mean, definitely hundreds of feet, but maybe several thousand feet gout of sand up into the air, like a massive explosion, basically straight up, while at the same time, we found out last session that the pirates were doing investigations into the threat of the pigeon people, which is why they were not there. So the pirates, Sir Peas specifically, witnessed a group of individuals go down underneath, which was Iatudi and all the thugs that went with him. And Loro went and visited the fortune teller, which is the scene we're looking at right now. Visited the fortune teller, who used a cabbage to...
Crystal cabbage.
A crystal cabbage in order to sort of tell the future, possibly, but mostly just for looks and to have food nearby. Told the future to Loro, but first made a deal that if Loro wanted... more treasure than the pirates could possibly ever receive individually, that the House of Stars would work with the pirates, guide them to treasure, and also guide their, I guess, legacy towards more legitimate ends. Not necessarily that they want it or need it, but that was sort of understated underneath the deal of treasure. Then gave Loro the... some information about the current area and some information about the future. This is a long recap. Holy snap. Basically, the things that Loro saw during the vision that was provided to from the fortune teller was that the king had been awake this entire time and was basically casting the spell of the dome literally the entire time. So it's been roughly 7 days-ish that the king has been awake and focused on one single thing. A Herculean effort, no doubt. Loro also saw... a gentleman with tattoos all over his body, strapped down somewhere while people cut off his skin. He also saw, dang, there was something else that I can't remember, but it's probably not. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the symbols on the tattoo was the same symbols on the weapons and stuff.
Yes,
right?
yes. So the tattooed person had the same. Oh God, I'm forgetting things. Oh no, I'm panicking. He had the same symbols that were in use all over the space, the sigil, right? So every clue you pick up is basically these symbols from this tattooed bro. And then also he saw a future scene that hasn't happened yet, where Loro and a bunch of his companions and also Bisque and Iatudi are all standing in the sand surrounded by a bunch of people, and there's a knife on the ground. Loro picks up the knife, stabs it into his chest, sort of in the fleshy part between his ribs and the armpit, that right up there. It's just a bunch of flesh, the pec, I guess, so that it doesn't necessarily hurt him, but it does embed into his flesh. And he also saw the sea of gold and his house sailing into a sea of basically treasure. So all of that, all in 3 seconds, slams into his head. At the same time, We also had the blown up individuals found themselves in a scenario that was mostly mist. An individual dressed kind of in a suit. I don't know if necessarily suits are fashionable, but a coat, nice clothes, well dressed. They found themselves in this misty space with this individual walking towards them, and they all had, or they were all standing on a mosaic tile expanse of black and white tiles and sort of swirls or whatever. And as the figure walked towards them, it didn't only walk on black mosaic tiles. The mosaic underneath it changed as it walked forward. So it continued to constantly swirl sort of around them as it walked forward. And as it did so, let's see, the professor tried to say something. I don't know exactly what it was, but the professor started to speak, and the being said all of your names all at the same time. So you all hear all the names all at the same time, which is where we find ourselves currently. So you hear Ricky, Grand Marshal Bistec, which I'm saying like the Spanish version, but I don't think it's that. Bisque, and who else? Who am I missing? Oh, Rue. Right. So you hear all of these names all at the same time. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we got you all. And then I don't know who should go first. If you want to roll, you're welcome to. Rue and Grand Marshal to see who wants to go first. The other people have played through their scenario already, but if you want to roll like a d20.
Sure.
I made them roll 6s, but it doesn't matter.
I rolled a 19.
A 2.
Okay, cool. Rue it is. So as the professor starts to speak, you hear the name all at the same time. The figure's walking towards Rue, and Rue finds himself instead of in this mist or whatever, finds himself in a nice sort of we'll call it a glade, not necessarily a meadow. There's definitely trees around. So it's not just flat meadow. There's flowers, but the sun is shining down, and Linny turns. Rue sees Linny turn sort of next to a tree or something like that, maybe worried a little bit, turns towards Rue, and she says, "Oh, Rue, after what happened, I wasn't sure. I'm so glad you're okay."
Where are we? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what had happened after. Was that magic? I'm not sure. We saw a bunch of magic, and now you're safe. You're here. I'm so glad. She comes towards you, clearly sort of distraught on her face.
So, do I recognize this glade at all? Or
probably not. It's probably sort of a nondescript glade, I guess it was. It could be literally anywhere in the world, It's just stereotypical glade.
I'm sorry, where are we right now? This isn't the desert.
No, we're headed back to the capital. You didn't wake up. We were so worried, we put you in a cart, and we were bringing you back to get medicine. We also thought maybe we should bring you to a healer. But I'm so glad you're awake.
Wait, am I injured? I'm gonna look and see if I look injured.
You got no injuries. You feel great.
I mean, I feel okay. I don't. What do you mean? I'm so confused right now.
I'm just so glad you're okay. I wasn't sure what we were gonna do. You know, if you succumbed to whatever happened in the desert, I was worried about our work and what I would do without you and how I would manage. And I'm just so glad you're okay. We pulled you out of the sand. We got you into the cart, and it's just so glad. I'm just so glad you're okay.
So the shield came down then.
Yeah, we never quite figured out what it was, but because you were so hurt, we got you into the cart and we just left. I didn't really have a lot of options, you know. I don't know what to do without you.
All right. Well, okay. How long have I been sleeping? I still feel really tired.
2 or 3 days, I think it's been. I assume you would want to like investigate her. I don't know what her mannerisms are, so she's not doing any of them, whatever they are.
Okay, sure. Do you want me to roll something for that? Or
yeah, I guess I'll take a. Well, I would say brilliance, but I don't know if it could be presence also, because you're like everything around you is possibly not right, because she's acting, I guess, normal, but not necessarily herself.
Okay. 7.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so the Glade and her seem like sort of a memory, I guess, but like you're remembering her wrong, I guess is the way to say it. Because I assume there are things, since you work together so often, you don't pick up on. Like, you wouldn't pick up on the way she holds her hands or her head or whatever. She doesn't do that. You don't notice like that she's wrong or anything, but the things you're familiar with, she's not doing.
Didn't we have to travel like quite a ways through the desert to get here? Or I mean, to get there. I don't even know where I am.
Yes. After we came from our project before, and we went to the Sigil, the desert, of course. Yes, but so instead of going back there, we actually went to the northeast towards the coast. I heard about a healer over there who might be able to help you. And since we had ties to the Coggers, I thought maybe they could. There's a settlement over there as well.
I feel like I remember something with the Coggers.
Yeah. I mean, we were at the Sigil, and they were there, and they were kind of weird. And then you blew up,
why do you
I guess.
think I need to be healed? Like I feel fine. I'm fine.
Right. Well, now of course, but when you were unconscious for several days, we didn't know if you had issues inside or damage. Is she like a healer? Would she know? Because I don't know.
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
Wait, did you figure out who killed Lance?
We had to leave. I think it was Iatudi. That's who they were saying it was him when we left. So
who was? There were others with me. Last I remember, we were like, I don't know, in a dark place by the monolith or something.
Yeah, and so there was a loud noise, and we all ran over, and there was sand everywhere, and then we found you sort of unconscious nearby, and we scooped you up, tried to get you to drink a potion. There were no healers. Everything was chaos. So I had a couple of the bearers, house bearers, put you into a cart, and we just headed off because I couldn't find anyone who could rouse you. So I don't know the resolution, I guess.
You don't know if the others were found in the sand too?
No, I was just so worried about you and how we would, how the house would survive without you, and what I would do without you.
I feel like you're forgetting like our motto or something. You know that nature's gonna go on. I mean, why do you keep saying that? You're concerned that the house won't be able to go on without me.
So yeah, as you say that, the leaves stop moving, the grass stops moving, she stops moving, and sort of like maybe it's like a reach towards you without ever touching you, concerned or whatever, and the figure that you saw before sort of steps forward out of shadow, even though there weren't any shadows. It's just sort of like an ooze forward near you, and he says, "Would she be okay without you?"
I mean, yes. She can survive. Who are you? Do I recognize this person?
No. Well, this is the figure you saw in the mist just before you were in the glade. So you've only seen him very briefly. He says, I'm known by a lot of things to a lot of people. I guess the closest thing you would know to call me is Kamagi. I guess you could say it that way.
Do I know what that is?
No. That's just a name. It's just a random name.
Gotcha. I mean, so where are we? Like,
where is a difficult conversation. Of course, you know that the here and now isn't the only space and time, as it were. There are things we can't see. I would say we are in an in-between, if you want to think about it like that. But I came to offer you some options.
Okay. But wait, we're not like it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in a soul bottle, are we?
No.
That's not an in-between.
No soul bottles here. I'm definitely... Do I look like a glom? No, of course. We are just in a space that I created to give you a chance. A chance to return, a chance to help her, and he like motions towards frozen Lenny, a chance to continue, as it were.
Why?
The why is a difficult thing. Everyone asks why, but some are asking why me, some are asking why this, why did it have to be that way? The why isn't really important, I don't think, because the why is simply the way it is. I would like to offer you a chance to continue to journey with your companion, a chance to seek out whatever it is you strive for in life, and a chance to I guess atone for anything you may have chosen to do that was incorrect.
Okay, well, chances don't normally just happen unless there's a price for those chances.
The price. Everyone knows about the price. And he like turns to the side and sort of holds his chin like he's thinking. I don't. What could an equal price be? Well, what about a chance instead of a price? A chance at adventure.
I mean, I've had many adventures already.
He like looks you up and down. Of course.
That's what you want? You want me to adventure more?
Well, an adventure unlike anything you've ever experienced. I would like someone to adventure on my behalf, to do some research in a place that I don't have the means to research.
What kind of research?
I'm looking for artifacts, signs, symbols, things of interesting and unique opportunities, magical or otherwise, but they are on a continent which I cannot travel to, a continent across the seas.
I'm sorry, are you always stuck in this place?
Oh, this?
Is that the deal?
No. This is a space I created for you to give you this opportunity. But no, I walk in the light, as you would say, I guess.
So why can't you get to this continent?
It's very far, and sea travel isn't really my forte. Spending time digging through ancient relics or traveling through jungle and interacting.
So you don't
with
want to do the work, is what I'm hearing.
I could do the work, of course.
There's a lot of value in doing work that I think some people don't understand or appreciate.
Of course. A man of principle and value. Of course, the honest, hardworking individual has the most benefit from a job. Yes, but you asked what the price was, and I, of course, don't want to just exact the price from you. So I figured I could give you this opportunity. We can work together, and I will continue my research on this continent and ask you to head over to that continent.
And what if I fail at finding these artifacts or trinkets that you're looking for? Then what?
Well, that's fine. I think that's fine.
What if I just you send me back and then I just refuse to go to this continent?
I would not appreciate that, but I understand that is something that could happen. I would ask that you go and we make a deal that you would not be able to break. Not that you would find the information I'm looking for, but that you would do the work, as you say, and get the most benefit out of it as possible.
What do you mean to do with these artifacts?
Well, without seeing them, I don't know the answer.
Well, I mean,
but,
what use do artifacts have for you in general?
Well, these specific ones are related to you could say my family, I guess. And when he says family, you having like spent time with Lenny and all the druidic research and all that stuff, he says family, but like religious context and people all banded together and civilization as it is. So not just like he was born with someone else. It's more like his family of history. And he says, my family has been spread thin, and I would like to reconnect with them if possible. I don't know if it's possible, so I'm looking for signs or information.
I guess a part of me understands that. I still just... I don't know how I'm supposed to help Lenny if I'm off on all these tasks that you are setting forth.
Just one task. Search a continent. Seems pretty basic. Also,
a continent.
Of course. You could take her with you if you so chose, or I could make available funds or whatever you might need in your stead to continue your work.
Our work's not really about the money.
Of course. I simply meant if you and she are gone, maybe money would allow other people to do the work in your stead, to continue to care for, and he like makes this waving motion, whatever you care for.
I think you're misunderstanding that the things that we do, they'll continue on even after us.
Perfect.
Even without funds, even without help from you.
Then would you like to do them in a new continent?
Things didn't go so well when I trusted people before.
Oh.
I'm not really sure why I should trust you.
I see. In this circumstance, in this space, I do understand how it would be difficult to trust what I'm saying. But really, I am offering to return you to life in exchange for a search, and that's it. I don't need anything from you otherwise. We would agree upon it, and I would return you.
So my soul would still be mine, and my freedom would still be mine. To a point.
Of course. I'm not a soul taker. Of course.
Well, what about I don't
I could see you're
I don't
want
to exist past my point of existence. Like, that could cause issues for other things, can it not?
Well, I guess I'm not a doctor. I don't know specifically what you mean by that. But I will say that who among us can decide when the end is, if an opportunity to continue is presented, when that may be the end in the future?
I suppose you have a point there.
I knew you were shrewd.
So I just have to spend the years I have left searching this continent and somehow, I guess, getting stuff to you even though you can't go to that continent? How do I get stuff to you?
Oh, well, I would set up some sort of, traveling companions for you, maybe a troop of adventurers such as yourself, maybe some porters from the porterhouse, and we could ferry these relics back. I could also, if I'm able to find, information and reconnect, of course you wouldn't have to continue searching for the rest of your years. It would just, we would conclude our deal and you would be free to do, and again, he waves his hands. He's like, whatever you do.
All right.
All right, as in the deal is struck?
I guess so.
Perfect. Excellent. He claps his hands. The glade disappears. Lenny disappears. The clap sort of echoes and echoes and echoes. And we go to, at the same time, because all of this happens at the same time. I don't know why I did this.
The longest 1 second ever.
I know, right? Time stretched immemorial. We also go to the Grand Marshal, who has just heard his name be stated, and the figure began to walk towards him in the fog. The fog approaches the Grand Marshal, or not the fog, the person approaches the Grand Marshal, and he says, "Grand Marshal!" Perfect.
Selling. I'm not interested.
Wait, isn't I thought everyone was there. Right?
Everyone is there, but
Okay.
as soon as he says your name, you all experience all this stuff individually. So you exploded, you came into a space where everyone's standing there. He says all your names as he starts walking, and then you're not there anymore, except in this case, you are still there.
Okay.
You're the only one that's still there.
All right. And then the person we were fighting, he's there too. He was there.
Bisk is also there, yes.
It's okay. All right. Okay. I said.
Bisk.
Bisk doesn't move, and
Sorry, I gotta mute myself.
Bisk doesn't move, and he can't hear. Well, he doesn't react or anything. And the figure steps forward and says, "He can't hear you. I brought you to this space to make a deal. No thematics necessary. You're a man
I begin
who
casting a spell.
You begin casting a spell.
Yeah, on this person. Does magic work here? Can I attack?
Let's see. The way magic works, does it work here? It doesn't work here because you don't have a body. So
Oh, I'm dead, so I don't.
yeah, it doesn't work.
Can I like charge
Because-
forward?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can. Sure.
Bisk.
You head towards Bisk, and the figure
Full
reaches
force.
out his hand, and you stop just like he stops, or he is stopped, I guess. So you stop full force trying to attack Bisk. The figure
Try to
steps
punch him.
forward. You can't move at all. I was gonna let you roll, but yeah. The figure steps around so that he can look you in the face, and he says, "Grand Marshal, wait, calm down.
Cares.
Hold on."
Yeah, ask.
He waves so that you can't see anybody but himself and you. And then he lets you go, and you complete your strike into nothing.
Ah,
Grand Marshal, I'm
not. I was
here to
the-
offer you an option. You're a
Son of a bitch.
You're a man of deals. I know, a man of value in life, and I just want to offer you a deal.
What?
You have the he like motions a little bit because this isn't the right word, but he says you have the smell of the marked ones. Give them to me, and I'll return you to life.
What?
Marked ones. You would know them to be marked all over their body.
What?
It feels like you've come in contact with them. You might know where they are. Give them to me, or the one you know at least, and I'll return you to life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No? A brilliant figure such as yourself? You don't have even a way to communicate with them, talk to them?
I don't know a marked thing. Unless you hear the one where it's marked. I don't know.
Okay. He like puzzles
Split it
over
like
you.
a 5.
Explain it like a vibe? What?
Yeah.
You... Okay, if you don't know who they are, maybe you've come in contact with something that they created. Do you have any artifacts or items or something from a civilization or an ancient peoples or something?
What?
What?
I didn't hear a word of that.
I think you just said,
Your voice changes, Bucky, now.
What?
What?
The figure says,
Why? You can't. What is going on here?
Marshall, are you okay?
Are you okay? Well,
I'm
what is
fine.
going on? Where am I? What is happening?
I brought
Trying
you...
to kill Biggest.
Grand Marshal, let me explain. You are in an in-between. Similar to the... As you know, souls can be removed from their bodies. You have been removed from your body, and I'm just offering you an opportunity to return to your body.
Cognington?
No, this is an in-between space. Technically, you aren't anywhere.
That's what's like in there, right? It's when we die, a part of our soul is integrated into the holy city, and we become part of the city.
Well, if I were to release your soul, it seems like you would be returned to the city of Coggerton then, which I can do, of course, but I figured you would probably want to return and continue leading your great religion and everything that you do.
I mean, depends on what the life is going to be like.
Well, I would just return you as you were.
I mean, it's kind of hell right now.
Why is that?
I mean, we're trapped in a city and fighting a bunch of people against all odds. So I'm gonna die anyway. So,
well, I can
kinda
return you.
sucks.
I can return you to a more healthy body if you wanted. You know, I could.
Well, I'm pretty healthy, as you can see.
Right, except for the dead part. So you don't know about the marked ones. You don't have any contact with any artifacts or anything like that?
So you brought me here to ask me about your artifact?
Well,
You killed me or something to ask about an artifact? You just
No,
send a
you-
letter?
you were already dead. I just brought you here instead of as a way station, as it were, instead of sending you on to offer you
Go
a
to the
chance at
great
return.
cog in the sky.
Right. Yeah.
You God?
No.
Am I God?
I wouldn't say.
If you're able to, if I'm dead, you're able to put me into another like a purgatory, then you are quite powerful. Fits that much.
Yeah. You can, if that works, if you'd like, you can think of me as a demigod or the cog or an aspect or anything you want, but I'm just another person like any other.
Are you? Are you a person?
Yes.
Investigate. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
You gotta investigate or something. Here.
Yeah, definitely. Roll on him. We would call it, I guess, a religion check, but that doesn't technically exist. So, knowledge, brilliance.
Good here. What is it modified with? Presence or something? What am I using?
Yeah, or brilliance if you think you wouldn't.
Matter.
All right.
12.
12. He looks like a person, but obviously you're in this purgatory space.
Is he like a god, like a demigod? Can I see?
You don't have any of that knowledge. I don't even think he would fit into any of the cog stuff that your people believe. But as I did indicate to someone else, this whole motif, this kind of wind thing, the fog, there is an old children's story about a being that takes bad kids or punishes people who do bad or whatever, and it's sort of like a scare tactic for kids, called Shoal Gath, and that figure does pull people into fog. But this doesn't quite fit that, but it does sort of relate similarly.
It's like the smoke monster from Lost.
Sure. I've never seen anything but the first episode of Lost, but sure. I hear the numbers are important, but you don't see any numbers.
So he just called me in here to make a deal.
Unfortunately, I thought
me in here if I'm wanting something. Sorry.
I thought you had information that you apparently don't have.
Only I didn't say I didn't have. I'm very confused considering the fact that everything happened. Then you just come in here asking me for something. You're fighting yourself.
For clarity.
I thought you would deal with someone that was so dignified as yourself. But
for clarity,
maybe you don't talk to people as much. You're kind of
you came in here. I was already here. I brought you into the space.
The stone?
No. This space doesn't exist in the world that we walk normally.
So what happened then? I touched that stone. I tried to steal everyone's soul.
Yep. I don't know the specifics of what occurred just before you died. I do know that your body's obliterated. So I pulled your soul into this space to give you an opportunity to discuss your future and the future. Go ahead.
Did you transfer me into another body?
I think I could. Do you have a body in mind?
Possibly. He's a bit wonky right now, but I believe that, if it's like a shared conscious, that was how it works. I think I might know he's been hiding some things, and they think are ways maybe to pull. But, I'm interested in making a deal first.
Okay. I wouldn't be able to keep the other entity within the body, unfortunately. If I were to put you into a body, no, I couldn't do that, but I could take that other person out and put you in. Sure.
And, all right. Still I would also want some a couple upfront things for these items.
Do you have the information I'm looking for?
Quite possibly.
Okay. What are your demands, Grand Marshal?
Well, I would like some of your soul.
Some of my soul. I am
Yes.
unable to separate my soul myself.
Okay, then there is no deal.
What if I could give you other souls?
No, your soul specifically.
Hmm.
It's very enticing to me. And you have a lot of power. And it seems these objects have a lot of power too.
I think you would be disappointed.
Also, I want a dog.
Dog's easy.
A gargoyle or a dog. Like from the head of like the end of the fillet out those
I could do a gargoyle dog. That seems easy.
Cool.
Yeah. Of course, you realize if you do have the information I'm looking for, I could go and seek it from other people that you've been in contact with, right? I could just go and find out myself, but I wanted to give you this opportunity here.
Are you looking for Jerry Garcia in a pouch?
No, I'm looking for the marked ones.
Oh, we have this pouch that's got some people in it.
It has people in it. I don't think you'd be able to consume them. So what pouch
Well, if you let me
exactly?
summon, I can summon it and then I can break it open and we can find out what it is.
Oh, so you do have an artifact of some sort. Okay.
We have all kinds of things in Cogniton.
And
Some
so-
glasses, we've got some couches. We've got
Oh, it's
some
in
shields. I actually
Cogniton.
gave my
Perfect.
shield. No, it's on Bramwell actually.
Bramwell, I see. And
It might
okay.
be on it.
Well, I
Maybe we
feel
took
like
it
I
off
have
already.
the information I need at this point. Thank you so much for all of your wealth of knowledge. I appreciate
course.
that.
So
Would you?
I'll just take him out and then place for your wolf knowledge as well. These artifacts that I'll be using.
Well, I'll be using them. At this point, I'm not sure that I need you anymore.
You send me that to Cogniton? Space is hell anyways.
I have no idea what you just said. All I heard was Congreton.
Yes, send me back to Cogniton. This place is hell. And then I can send the messages.
If I returned you to your body, let's say, hypothetically, would you...
I don't really want to go back to my body, actually.
Well, what if I returned you to a new body, a different body, any body you want?
I like that's the idea of just enjoying peace after all and not having to do work anymore.
Well, what about your legacy?
Wait,
What
why do you
about-
live? What do you live for?
What do I live for? I've been walking a long time, mostly just to see my
Why don't you just give up?
family again. Oh no, I'm not giving up. No,
So your family's
sir.
alive.
I believe so, especially if you have some sort of artifact from them.
How do you know where it was?
I guess I will find out.
Well, they could be dead. And then what are you gonna do?
I guess at the point that I'm for sure that they are dead, I could give up. You're right.
Sits down. Do you have a cup of tea or something?
You got
Okay.
a cup of tea? So tell me
Tea.
about your mother.
Sure. How about this? I'll return you to a body very briefly.
I think you're having some issues with your family.
Oh,
Maybe you're
no.
gonna try to kill him or something. And
No, of course.
I think you're gonna try to kill your favorite. I've been down this road
issues
before. I've been,
are,
done that myself, so I
Oh,
know what
really?
you're going for. Yeah.
You've killed your
It's
family?
one evil person to another evil person who,
Well, I don't.
soul stealing or if you will.
The value of anyone's soul is not evil necessarily. To put a price on something like that, not necessarily
Well, just
evil.
massacring, families and civilizations, stuff like that. I know it is.
How about this? I'll return you very briefly. You summon the item you said you have. Give it to me, and then I will release you into Coggerton. That way we both get what we want.
Yeah, I give him what I want.
You just said you wanted to pass on.
And play the guarantee though.
A guarantee that I won't keep you alive?
No, but it's gonna be good. Because you're a demigod, right? You know.
Well, you apparently bound your soul into a city. I can't guarantee what.
Well, everyone's filled in the city when you join by a copy of the columns. Your soul's taken and put into the city repository.
Right.
So everyone can consume you through that wise. Everyone gets a little bit of you. We walking through the streets and air comes through the scented air shoots out the beds. Every now like special days, it'll be the Grand Marshal's birthday and some scented air shoot out. It's actually the soul of the previous marshal.
You watch even this entity kind of recoil away from what you're describing. It's like,
Don't you know that? I mean, aren't you all knowing? You know where
of course I'm not all knowing.
No. Entire world works.
If I were all knowing, then I would just go get what I want from where it is. And
why don't you go get it?
Why I'm not all knowing. You said I was all knowing. I'm not. That's why. I don't think so, but if that's your evaluation, that's fine.
Well, what I mean, you got me here. You for some reason wanting something that apparently you can get.
Yes, apparently Bramwell, this Bramwell, your son, correct? He has it? What would he think of not having you around anymore?
Oh, he probably delighted.
Okay.
So he's just some kid we took off the streets of Tom Powell's place, the horse.
I see. Perfect. Maybe I should make a deal with him.
Well, he's not. He's going through a process right now. The problem is, how about if you take him away from this process, it can really screw with him.
Well, I would bring him here.
I mean, really barely. I mean, it's got to be like a 99 chance that you take him away from this process, and it's going to mess up his brain. It's going to be all goofy. He's not going to know what's going on. He's going to be. Our process is not been a 100% yet.
Well, this space ignores pretty much everything body related, so
I mean, what if the objects are within you?
What'd you say?
What if the objects are in him?
Are in him?
Yeah, in his prison pocket.
Oh, well, I would just find that out and remove them, of course.
You personally do that yourself?
Yeah, I see no trouble with doing that.
He says you can't even leave. You can't leave this place.
Oh, I can leave this place.
He said you can't go over there. Or why would you?
I just didn't know where you were keeping the artifact. But now that you've told me, and now I know where it is, I'll just...
What if I have them on me? What if they're in this other cup?
If you have them on you, they're gone because your body again was obliterated.
So what if they're that gone?
That would be unfortunate.
Oops.
Oops. Okay, Grand Marshal, this has been an experience.
Not to what's the word? There's a word there.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in there. Sure,
The word.
you're a smart guy, right?
Yeah, the word that you're thinking of is
Yeah, what word?
let's see here. I'm trying to decide if I want to roll. Why would I roll though? Yeah, sure, I'll roll. Who cares? Let's see here. Natural 20. So plus his location and modifiers, we're looking at 25. He would say the word you're
what's the
thinking
word?
of is precipice.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We stand on a precipice together, and
What does that mean?
precipice, like a
Yeah, we know
cliff.
library anything. Can you pull up a book? Can you show a book?
A precipice is
sources.
sort of like a cliff that juts out, maybe over water or over maybe open air. You know, so
we're a cliffhanger.
we're at a cliffhanger. Sure, you could say it that way.
Are you holding on, or am I holding on? Are we both holding on?
You're holding on, and I'm offering to pull you back up.
It seems like it's the other way around.
You gave me all the info I needed, and I'm just gonna, I guess, walk away at this point. I offered
Can I
to
stay here? I don't.
stay here instead of returning to Coggerton or returning to a body.
Why don't you just take me with you? You just be like I could be like your sidekick. You know, I could steal souls for you. You know, to pass on the Coggington religion in your area.
You're offering to work for me, and what do you get out of it?
Evil.
Evil. What I do isn't evil.
It kind of does. It does seem that way. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure you're gonna kill your parents.
My parents are long gone, unfortunately.
Well, you just said you're trying to reunite with them.
My family, yes.
Oh, your family, so your parents then.
More like brothers.
Sister.
We'll call them siblings, yeah. But I'm not going to kill them.
You know what? I'll allow you to kill those.
Okay. Thank you. I don't need your permission.
You're welcome.
So do you need a body? Is that what we're agreeing on here? You give me the
You just give my old
artifacts.
body back.
You want your old body now? Okay. Wow.
I've
This
always
has
wanted.
been-
I mean, it's a fantastic body. Have you seen that body? You see that
Perfect.
face?
Let's
Could charm any woman. I mean, the hair's got to work on, but maybe you could work on my hair.
we'll describe the terms of this deal then. I'll return you to life in your body, perhaps with less aches and pains, but physically the same. And then you provide me with the artifact I'm looking for and continue on your path doing whatever I guess you think is evil or
Evil.
working for me, with me, in my
And I'm gonna
image,
get
whatever
some of
that
your
is.
soul, right? Like
Sure.
1%. 0.5.
Yeah, I'll give you some of my soul.
Fantastic. We'll put a little bit of you into the city.
Excellent.
So you want to probably get down on your knees.
You're not going to be able to do any like process that you would normally do.
And just get out your knees out. And kiss my finger. Kiss my ring.
To strike the deal?
Yes.
Perfect. He walks forward, kneels down, and kisses your ring. And then from there, for some reason, the kiss echoes, just like just like the clap echoes. Each of these stories echoes, and as all of these stories, which were happening at the exact same time, occur, we return then finally back to the point of the explosion. So just to give a frame of where everyone else is, Loro had just, who we're looking at right now, Loro is talking to the fortune teller, hears and sort of feels a gout of fire during the battle that was happening underneath. The fortune teller says some stuff and laughs, which I realized more recently she laughs like frickin' Popeye, and so I can't
next door.
I can't unhear it now, but anyway, and then she says some stuff. He does the vision of the stabbing in the sea and all of that stuff, and then there's a massive explosion that goes mostly up but blows through the tent. Loro runs out, and we find as he runs over a massive amount of sand in the air. Sand everywhere. Nobody can see anything anywhere in the sigil. There's just sand everywhere, okay? And the three, because Ricky chose not to continue his existence, which is totally fine. He is free. We find the other protagonists standing in mist still, like they were. It's still the sort of like foggy whatever. They're standing on sand, but the fog is still around them. The Rue and the professor and Grand Marshal are all standing sort of in a line like they were in the foggy place on the sand. The entity is actively kissing the ring for some reason of the Grand Marshal. As we move from that like mosaic floor onto the sand, Rue sees the faces of two very short people in like suit kind of nice clothing. The professor sees the camel minotaur, whose name is Camelo. No one knows his name, but you see his camel face and sort of his bust body or whatever. And the entity stands up in front of the Grand Marshal and holds out his hand, ready for you to complete the deal that you agreed to.
Shrugs.
The entity says, "The artifact?"
Well, yeah, we gotta go get it.
You said you could summon it.
Well, I mean, briefly.
Okay.
It's gonna be here, then gone. We're up to go with the airship.
Perfect. Summon it briefly.
Let's do the airship. Well.
You must do it now.
Why can't you do it? You're powerful. Son Brown World here.
You said, in accordance with our deal, in order to continue your life, you must provide the artifact. And like his voice is booming at this point. He says, you must provide the artifact now.
Yeah, we have to go get it. I don't understand. Or summon the airship. Let's go walk. I have it. It's there.
Provide the artifact now, or the deal is not struck and you are returning or going back on the deal. Summon the artifact right now.
I can't. I don't know how.
Is that true?
Can you? Do you know how to summon items?
What would he do?
I mean, can you teach me stuff that I don't? I don't. I mean, I could summon a
Interesting.
giant cog from the sky, then smash it into the ground, and like a fist of the heavens. I could do that.
Okay.
I could.
He interesting. He because I guess he was kissing your ring, grabs your hand, and you and he both disappear in front of Rue and the professor, and go to you are on the airship. Like, you appear in the airship.
Well, he's dead.
What is going on?
I have no idea. I
Where
take it you made a deal with him as well?
he'll kind of look down and be like, yeah, I guess I did.
There's sand everywhere, like everywhere, and it's all in the air and stuff. You're probably coughing. You can hear like cries and yelling somewhere around you, but you can't even tell where it's coming from.
Yeah, I probably just like cover my mouth or something and just set my arm. Right. Yes. Well, my deal doesn't seem as strenuous as his. I just have to tell Bisk to fuck off.
That would have been so easy. Why? Oh, okay. I have to like travel like an entire continent or something.
That's.
Okay, so we'll
That's
just
a bit
pause
harder.
right there real quick. In the airship, you both arrive. There's less sand, I guess, in here, but there's still sand in here. And he lets go of your hand and he says, "Provide the artifact now."
Okay, Factor, I think we just gotta go down to the trial chamber where Bramwell is.
Okay, he motions for you to lead the way, and allows you to walk by yourself. He walks behind you.
Come on, steer this way.
I'll pull us over to the airship, I guess.
Okay.
So, what is the
here's the
what does the cryo chamber look like, or whatever?
I don't know. Just like a
Okay.
torture chamber, I guess. I don't
Yeah, we'll assume
Giant
there's
fridge.
like
table.
big vats of random stuff
Like people-
and
People in
weapons
dark
and-
robes all around him, trying to
Yeah.
there's like lightning coming out of their hands and shit.
Okay, perfect, cool.
Just got convulsing.
Sorry.
I don't understand how this guy can suck everybody to this misty place, but he can't summon an artifact.
Yeah, sucks.
yeah, as you can see there, yeah. So with color on, it's gonna be a minute because we usually don't take them out of them when they're being reconditioned. So
He stops you.
we'll see here.
Perfect. The artifact.
Yeah, just hold on to your butt. If you all work. I don't know. I don't. Excuse me. We're gonna have to. Ladies and gentlemen, stop at the conditioning.
No, I don't
know,
care.
I'm sorry.
We don't
Sorry. Hey, fine. I'm trying to conduct something here. You can stop for like a minute. Black soap monster. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, that just we're gonna stop a conditioning process. We need well, I know the risks involved, but okay, just stop. Take him out of the chair. I don't know.
I guess
Wake
they
up.
take him out of
Wake
the
up,
chair.
Hannibal.
I don't know. they pull him upward, like flap. Yeah, like standing upright, slap him awake. Oh God, both of them at once. No. Bramwell. This figure like addresses
Bramwell.
Bramwell.
Ramro, to do that stone thing again. Oh, you got it's something. The pouch. Yeah, you see the pouch. Where is it?
I gotta take it out of my. It's in me.
Why?
Get it out of me. You told
Why
me
are we
to
going
keep it
here?
in my special spot.
Where is this going?
I'll just God damn it, just God, take it out and take it out and stuff.
Okay, so he takes it out and he opens it up. He like smashes it, takes it out of his pot.
Okay, so Bramwell pulls the artifact coin thing for some reason out of his butt
Yep,
after being tortured or whatever's occurring.
it was loose. What can you say?
It was loose. Perfect. So it comes out of his butt. He holds it up and smashes it.
He opens it. Yeah.
Yeah. So cracks it in half. It's like a little disc with symbols all over it or whatever. When he cracks it, oh gosh, we're in a freaking torture chamber. So, you said there's like lightning and stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
So anywhere that there's like a decent amount of light, this figure steps forth. It's the figure with tattoos on his arms that Bramwell met in the forest. And the figure says, "Oh, Bramwell, I hadn't expected you to contact me this soon." And so he walks into the space. The figure moves towards him, doesn't say anything, moves towards him.
I put on my glasses that I have as well.
Sure. Wait, Bramwell or
Bramwell
Grand
has some cool glasses.
okay,
that he
Bramwell
got from
begins
somebody.
to put on his glasses. This figure steps forward, says, "Bramwell, I didn't expect you to contact me this soon." Sort of turns to look around, takes in a torture chamber real quick, then takes in the entity that's coming towards him. He yells no, and he grabs his clothes, and they're not designed to fall away, but they're wrapped in such a way that you can pull them. And he pulls them as fast as he can. His body is covered head to toe in tattoos of different runes, which no one else can see because we're in your space. And he says, "No!" And as he says no, the entity that was moving towards him bursts into like wind that can like rip and tear all at once and slams into this tattooed bro, and they begin to like exist, sort of smashing, like basically like the cartoons where they're battling in a cloud, you know, they begin to exist in that way where they're sort of tearing at each other. They move through the space in like a howling gust out through a wall. The wall explodes out on the far side, and all of the people who aren't Bramwell and the Grand Marshal vanish. Every single one of them on this ship is gone. All at once. Anybody who was in there is gone. And the Grand Marshal and Bramwell are left standing alone in the Cogger ship. We'll move back now,
Bramwell, get
I
your clothes out. Let's
guess.
get up and down.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, Bramwell, get your clothes out. Let's go.
Okay, well, I guess you have to choose which one comes back, if either of them comes back, but we're gonna head back over here. That's not what I expected, of course, because it's always that way, but the
Yeah, I like to fix it up for you.
Yeah, I know. It's I try to plan ahead for you mixing it up, and it never happens. So Rue and the professor, I'll just move everyone else out of the way because I don't know who's coming.
Can't plan for chaos.
Yeah, Rue and the professor find
It was
themselves
in the script, so.
Yeah, we're all scripted, sure. You find yourselves in this dust, in this the mist fades as the entity fades back, and takes him. So you're just in sand. It's exploded everywhere. It's sort of gusting around in the air, and you hear cries and yelling as you gather yourselves and sort of take in where you are. The dust, I would say the dust begins to settle, but it's really everywhere, sort of in the air, so it just becomes easier to see, I guess. And as it does, people have been running towards this blast crater that you find yourselves next to. The crater has the monolith. I didn't recreate it because it was too difficult, but the monolith is standing basically almost straight up. It's a little tilted in a giant crater, and as you come out of that space, you just... Well, I guess you don't need that knowledge because it doesn't matter anymore. So you're standing in sand. People are running and yelling. There's cries for the king, the king. You hear just people sort of everywhere as the dust begins to settle, and people begin to gather around the crater with you. Anything you want to say to each other beyond the conversation before?
Well, I don't suppose you see Bisc anywhere around here.
It's hard to see anything right now. Do you think we should check on the king?
Where's the drunken one?
Ricky is not there for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Please. The entity would just have to offer him like an endless chalice of beer or something, and that'll be it.
I should have offered that.
Miguel is dead.
Maybe he didn't. Yeah, maybe he didn't. Get hit with whatever hit us. I don't even know what happened.
Maybe. I mean, it was quite close to that monolith. Right. I think I need to go and speak to the king and explain that Bisc is a traitor before Bisc maybe gets the first word in. And points the finger at us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would like to think that my character went straight to the king after the thing with the fortune teller.
Yeah. As the explosion occurs, we know that Lauro ran out of the tent towards the crater. So if he finds himself at the king, perfect, because the other two are headed there as well. Bubbles, the best I could say is Bubbles has lived a life of comfort in the recovery area since his previous issues, and is feeling great, just wandering around, living his life. And maybe when the explosion occurs, just sort of comes over because everyone's coming over to see what happens. Do you think that's accurate?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So we have Loro, Bubbles, Rue, and the professor. I guess we'll take a moment because somebody has to travel over here from what just occurred. So as you approach, the king is over here. You find Bisc standing near the king, clearly worried. Everybody's sort of fanning or trying to take care of the king. The king's unconscious. He's laying on the ground. The structure has been half obliterated. The tent's gone from the top of it, but he's sort of laying in front of the wreckage, unconscious, while attendants try and take care of him. Everybody's kind of worried who's around him. And you see Bisc, with him as well, saying, like knelt down and saying, "Don't worry, we're gonna figure out what happened."
Yeah, sort of. I'm going to be approaching at speed, so not subtly either. So I don't know if Bisc sees me come in.
Okay. Yeah. Are you?
I'm gonna beat the Grand Marshal to the punch, I think.
Literally.
Oh. Also, let's see here. Grand Marshal, Professor, and Rue. You three also have 2 extra grit.
Oh.
I was gonna say that, in a sense, I think the Grand Marshal let Bramwell. He was gonna like sacrifice himself or something
Yeah.
to restore Bramwell to his 100%ness, because it was the Grand Marshal's last crusade, anyways.
Okay.
But I was going to say
You. So, what does that process entail?
I was just gonna like they're on the ship, and that the marshal would kind of do his like soul steal, but kind of reverse it, like giving his.
Interesting. Okay. We will do that, I guess. I guess we should do that first. When you attempt to do it, let's see. The monolith is here. Sure. Roll. Whatever it takes to do that spell, which I assume is brilliance, but maybe not. You're shooting for a 25.
Not gonna happen.
No?
No way.
Okay, when you attempt to do the spell, it doesn't work. And it feels like your soul, because you've done this to a bunch of other people, you have like a sixth sense, I guess, about soul feel, I guess. It feels like your soul is caged within your body. Okay. And the other 2 of you who were returned,
Around your road.
For example, if you're old and you've been feeling the effects of age, like weak knees or any of that stuff, you don't feel that. At most, you feel like a coldness, maybe, in knees that have been painful in the past, but it's... Your bodies are better than they were before, and you don't feel those aches and pains almost at all. If you had like poor eyesight, that's gone. Most of the effects of age are completely gone, as well as your bodies feel great.
God, the professor really got a good deal.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, is Bramwell just gonna come over all chaotic and feeling effects, or is?
I would just be the Grand Marshal.
Oh, okay, cool.
I guess we won't. I don't want to go crazy.
Yeah, the way the deal works, you couldn't put your soul anywhere else. You also can't have your soul taken from you. You would probably know that if someone attempted to do the soul stealing thing on you, it would not work.
All right.
You're like in a soul prison in this body.
It's in a glass case of emotion.
Yup. Truly. Because that's what he wants to do. So when you say you approach at force towards Bisque, what does that mean?
I probably have my my sword and board out, and I'd be shouting. I don't know how close I am now, and I know other people want to get involved, so I'd probably be approaching and sort of shouting, "Bisque, you traitor! You murderer! Get away from the king!" And approaching him and making sure make a scene as well.
Are you gonna attack him?
If I get close enough, yeah, and he doesn't dip.
Can the captain also come in shouting, but shouting something else?
Sure. What do you want to shout?
I had been the king all along. He's making this damned barrier around us. Kill him!
Yeah, let me find your gargoyle dog.
Gargoyle, yeah.
Hell
Nice.
Just a bit of chaos.
Yeah. And he barks or something.
So you're gonna come over from this way, I guess. You're the Grand Marshal. Wait, where are you? Oh, you're
Grand Marshal of 2 L's. I know I misspelled it so badly. It's like, oh well.
So you're coming in from this side. We'll take a moment for you to get here. So this stuff will all occur while you're trying to soul push and all that stuff. So let's see. If you're yelling the whole time, it's not a surprise. So Bisque, kneeling over the king, will say, as you're yelling, he'll stand up and say, hold on, what does he sound like? There they are, the killers of the Princess Lance. And he'll stand and point at you so that everyone around the king thinks that, it sees you running, him yelling, this is like chaotic, right?
Yeah.
And what are
literally
what is Lotto
demanding
yelling?
the king's. Hey, it's the king all along. He's creating this barrier. Kill him.
Well, there you go. There's my distraction to get at Bisque.
And the captain is just gonna charge at the king.
What? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all these people are gonna say, "Protect the king! Protect the king!" And they're gonna like jump forward and move forward in front of the king to stop you.
Bubbles is just standing there wondering why everybody's fucking insane.
Yeah, right. Are you gonna attack, Loro?
Oh yeah, I'm charging in with the flamethrower if I can.
Okay, so you're gonna.
How do you have a
Jesus Christ.
These
Not a
people are gonna
literal
block.
flamethrower, the skill flamethrower. He's basically running while drinking a bottle of hooch or something, like some
Okay.
really strong alcohol, and he's just gonna spit flames.
Okay. They're gonna jump in front of the king for sure. So I
Okay.
guess roll your attack against these poor random fools.
So combat ability, right? Makes
Okay.
sense. So
Sure.
that's +2 if I remember correctly, because I don't have my sheet. I think it's a +2. Flamethrower is one of my limited skills, right? It's the strongest. It's a +4, right? But
Oh
that's
my
only
gosh.
in chance to hit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna add +4 to my dice. Is the +2 from combat ability also in the roll, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's +6
Keep some for
total.
damage, though.
I rolled the 20.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
Oh, God.
Dang. Okay, so you definitely hit for sure.
Okay.
Let's roll some damage here. See what happens.
Alright, it's D6, no modifiers, right?
Yes, unless you have some crazy gear that would
No,
matter,
I don't think
so.
I have an item that would matter in this attack. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was a 6.
A 6? Oh my gosh. So you see as you run up and you're like, kill the king, these attendants who have been trying to make him comfortable, they're just like putting a pillow under his head and like wiping sand off of his face, and like he looks all gaunt and stuff. They hear you shouting and they turn around and see you running, and I mean, they could never expect this, right? So they sort of like stand to block you, just their arms. They don't have any weapons or anything. And you breathe fire across all three of them, and
God.
they're like covered in this liquid, right? So their hair just like goes up, just, and they start screaming, and they can do nothing except run. So they turn to begin fleeing. These are grievous wounds against these people who are just attendants trying to help. And they
should have jumped in front.
Well, protect the king. They are going to flee, and dang, Bisque is going to try and defend the king, because at this point you're all attacking for some reason. So Bisque will cast Yeah, but the professor's running at him. Bisque will probably cast maybe a fireball towards the professor, especially if he sees what's happening. So just to give it spatially, you probably ran like this and you're going this way. And Bisque is just like kneeling next to the king, stands up, sees you running. So he'll try and blast you with a fireball.
Okay.
Oof. We're looking at 12.
Okay. I am looking at 19 to defend.
Okay, so the fireball comes towards you, but I guess maybe he was, spinning or something as he got up, and it flies past and arcs over here. But you've made a huge commotion at this point. There's people on fire screaming. You're all screaming. The Grand Marshal is running in from the side with a gargoyle dog, and all of these people who have been coming over to figure out what's happening see a party of what looks like, 4 or 5 people trying to kill the king, and Bisque defending the king. And all of these people are running towards you.
Oops.
Just dozens and dozens and dozens of people who have been headed towards the explosion and stuff, including Iatudi. Iatudi screams like, "Protect my father!" And is running towards you. So we'll say Grand Marshal's last. Rue, initiative order would be you.
Okay, I want to do something a little crazy, probably too.
It can't get crazier at this point.
Okay, so how big is this crater from the monolith? Like, how close could I get to the monolith?
It would be huge as a crater. So, but like, it's downward. So the base of the crater has the monolith sitting in it. So it's like
I'm
bowl,
really
maybe?
looking to how close can I get to Lance.
She is in the air at this point. So if you ran towards the monolith, you would be running down into the bowl, and you would be able to touch the monolith, but you couldn't get to Lance because you'd have to like climb up the monolith to get to her.
Gotcha. And obviously the scaffolding is all destroyed.
Yep, that's all gone. Scaffolding's gone. The lights are here just so that we can see what people look like in the like darkness of the game, but they're not actually there.
Okay.
This chicken's definitely here though.
Right.
Well, the light could also represent the poor sods that are on fire. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Darn it. All right. Well, I don't want to attack the king.
the king is causing all this. It's the king's fault.
Wait for my turn to yell at you.
Can I guess, seeing that I'm not going to be able to get to Lance on the monolith, I'm going to turn and use my Vine Whip ability to strike a whip of vines at Bisque's ankle to try to pull him down to the ground.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I will roll his
garbage every time.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
Wait, you rolled for the chicken.
Oh dang it!
Doesn't count.
It counts. It's just a roll.
That was the chicken. That was the chicken's luck.
Oh god. Okay, so the chicken succeeds in running. I will re-roll for Biz.
Appropriate.
The chicken's gone now.
Yeah. That's fair.
15 on his grit.
Yeah, I only rolled a 9.
Okay, so probably as the vine whip is coming out, maybe it gets singed or cut by the fireball that's blowing away from Bisque in this very chaotic moment, but it doesn't connect with him. Bubbles, welcome. Anything you'd like to do?
It's point, just be innocent.
Bubbles?
And
Uh-oh. Make it a little wider.
Bathroom, because everybody was busy fighting.
Of course, of course.
yeah, it's your turn to busy fight now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bubbles could fight, except I never gave him any skills.
That's cool.
I guess he's just going to maybe take advantage of the fact that Bisk is busy trying to defend the king and he's a bit distracted, and he's gonna walk up and he's gonna throw his cat at him.
What? Cat attack. So you're coming towards Bisk with a cat? Okay.
Well, yeah, but not so you can see. You know, he's kind of distracted right now, so he's gonna sort of like, you know, kind of stroll up behind him and.
Is this like your ultimate move?
Well, yeah, Bubbles and cats are like
Chance to inflict cat scratch fever.
symbiotic. You know, he loves cats, so the fact that he's going to sacrifice his cat.
Would this be your +4 roll? Your best ability?
Yeah, whatever that is. If you have the information, because I don't.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
what am I
if
rolling?
D20. I lost my die. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna roll this, but I accidentally have Bubbles selected, but it is for Bisk, okay?
Doesn't count.
It counts.
Okay, I rolled a 20.
Oh my gosh. Okay, +4. Perfect.
Damn.
I'm just gonna drop this bad boy. A 1. There's no way you can defend. And so the cat goes with Bubbles all the time, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, he has his special companions, but I mean, cats just seem to love him. But this is like the cat. You know, that's a really nice fucking kitty right there.
God.
Does Bubbles have any other items that he carries with him, or any like gear or any of that stuff?
Cat food.
I don't know. Honestly, I completely forgot to give him anything.
Well, no, that's okay. I'm saying like in his concept, do you think he would have anything else, or is his gear just like cat and cat associated stuff?
Well,
Like catnip.
I mean, he does kind of have his drugs, you know.
Okay.
Right.
So you know, he may have slipped the cat some catnip. Because he's
Oh God,
crazy.
So we'll call this +2 probably to the cat attack for damage. If you'll roll a d6, we'll add 2 to it.
Oh, okay. D.
Critical hit by a cat.
Okay, roll a 5.
Okay. So, oh my gosh. So
More damage than any of us have ever done.
You pump 7 damage into Bisk sort of from behind. You basically, you know, not hurl because you don't want to throw a cat, but you release the cat into Bisk's face, and the cat's just like, "Meow!" Because I think that maybe it can smell the unnaturalness of Bisk in his reconstituted form, and it attacks him quite heavily, it sounds like. And so you see like cuts all over his face and like gashes on his neck. He's yelling, "Stop them! Protect the king!" Ah! As this cat attack. And then Grand Marshal arrives with his gargoyle dog.
Oh, yes.
That whoops.
What is the
I love
gargoyle
it. Just
dog?
woof.
How much does he
I just want to attack Bisk.
I would say the gargoyle dog is probably going to act as like a non-heroic companion, I guess. So maybe like whatever the middle tier is that I described but can't remember what it is because I haven't thought about it in so long. Let me look. But basically, instead of shooting for 20, it'll be shooting for like the max it could do is 15. So it'll have a -5 to all of these rolls.
Okay, so I'll send my gargoyle dog on Bisk.
So you'll just be like, sick him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sick him, boy.
Just points at him. Then, well, what, a D20?
Yeah, D20 and then -5, whatever it is. Oh my gosh.
13?
Oh, I'm rolling as the gargoyle dog, but whatever. 5, come on! Surprisingly, with a cat on his face, Bisk doesn't see a gargoyle dog coming from the other side. The gargoyle dog attacks Bisk. If you'll roll damage, please.
I got a 3.
Oh my gosh. So 10 damage into Bisk so far. The dog, I would assume, grabs him in the leg or the arm or something and does that like shake. The roar.
Yeah, I posted a picture of what he looks like.
Yeah, I saw it. It's terrifying.
I want to see that.
Oh God, freaking gremlins! I'm kidding me.
Yeah, he's like,
It's
Zool.
literally the same.
Oh yeah, that would have been good.
Since we don't have any characters that have companions yet until now,
Oh well, no, I did mention way
cat.
back.
well, yeah, the cat, but
his cat.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out if the gargoyle dog sort of acts independently, you know, and the Grand Marshal has a turn as well. You pointed and said attack.
I would say that's my turn, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense for him to not do his turn and use the gargoyle that has a -5 to every roll.
Yeah. Unless he gets some kind of bonus for controlling it.
Yeah, I think you would still have a turn, yeah, because the chances of him hitting are supposed to be kind of low. So, and I don't see why you wouldn't be able to, like, you know, just point and run and attack, or point and cast a spell, or whatever you wanted to
whistle.
do. Yeah.
That is a whistle.
Thank you.
So you want me to go again?
I mean, it's more of like a continuation. What would the Grand Marshal do if you want to do something?
He's kind of on a bloodlust now.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
wait, no,
There
he's
is a
evil. He's
burning
gonna kill me.
assistance
This is what I have to
right in
say.
front of me.
Yeah, he's evil.
I shall call down forth the cogs of the sky onto you.
Oh
and he's
no.
going to cast his ultimate ability, which is Cog of
Okay.
the Heavens, which is a take from Fist of the Heavens from Diablo 2, which is the Paladin skill.
Cool.
Basically. So it's going to, but what he's basically, it's going to be from Stargate, basically, you know, the rings. They're just going to come down, but they're going to be cogs, that are just like 8 of them, like ethereal cogs, but they smash down like one upon the other, like bam, 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 bam.
Okay.
That's what it's
Cool.
supposed to look like.
Yeah. Okay. Please roll
Try
your
to.
attack roll, and I'll. Come on, bro, please.
Okay, I rolled I finally got some higher rolls, so I got a 17.
Okay. Dang it.
Really wants this.
Well, that's not with +4. When do you add the +4?
It is the roll, so that would be this roll as
Oh, so
well.
21
But you
then.
you beat the 10, no problem. I don't know why I can't roll well now, but whatever.
I rolled a lot of like 1s and 2s at the beginning, so
True.
Now's your
I
time.
got a 4.
A 4 for damage.
6. Yeah.
Okay, so cogs
That's not
begin
with
to
any
rain
modifier.
down. Sort of magical, I guess, cogs. They kind of glow, you know, and they're slamming into Bisk, and he's like, "Ah!" with all of this stuff coming at him, and then the crowds of people who are watching you begin to arrive, because they heard, protect the king, save the king, they're attacking, whatever. And then they also heard, kill the king, he's the problem. For some reason. So, Iatudi will arrive. Let's see.
I'm not wrong.
Probably the
You were
beginnings
so wrong.
of these people to
He's just
arrive.
following. Marshall has a bloodlust. He doesn't care. He sees people attacking.
When do I get my turn?
Oh, have you not gone yet? My bad.
No.
Wait, no, you attacked Bisk first, right?
I ran towards him.
Oh, you didn't.
hasn't
Okay, that's my
attacked
bad.
yet, no.
My bad. Sure, hit him because I'm sure you can at this point.
Well, I want to shout out, "You bloody pirate! What are you doing? We know the king put the barrier up. He announced it."
Right, he did.
Where did I miss that? I don't remember.
Right.
Thanks for telling me. The only person
You
that
probably
warned
should've gone
me.
first.
I really wish I had gone first. Yeah.
My bad.
3 innocent lives.
Yeah.
Is this dead yet?
I am charging
Not
Bisk.
quite. So you charge at Bisk.
Yeah.
Do it up.
I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm using an ability. But, whatever, we'll do that in a sec for the damage. That is 12 to hit.
Please.
No.
Please.
14 to hit.
Why?
He's just done some bad, so.
Bisk
So I'm
is-
using my ability on damage. Is that okay?
No, your ability
Okay.
rolls into the D20. Your gear can roll into your damage.
That's fine. I would have had an extra plus. I will use the ability, and I'll have an extra +1 to 2 to hit anyway, and then I'll use my gear. I just got to roll around. Okay,
Cool.
so rolling D6. So that's that's a 4.
Okay. Bisk has
And I
fallen
punch
at
him with
this
the
point.
lightning. Yeah, I got my fist basically full of lightning.
The cat is clawing at his face. The dog has pulled him down onto the
That cat's
ground.
biting too.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But I mean, cat bites are kind of small. Come on.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Wow.
The claws
Like
are worse
needles.
than a cat.
You own cats?
It is true that this cat has wrecked Bisk more than anybody else. That is true. So,
True.
One for the eye, I think, at this point.
yeah, an unnatural feral fury as this cat tries to destroy Bisk, seeming to try and dig into him for some reason. And the gargoyle dog has him down. Giant magic cogs are slamming into him. And how exactly do you kill this Bisk as he lays almost defenseless at this point in front of all these people?
Just with a glove full of lightning, basically, just blasting him in the face.
Don't hit the cat.
Yeah, I'm trying to be avoiding the cat.
Okay. So it's like a punch.
Yes, it's a fully the glove sort of comes alive with lightning and.
Okay, cool. So you run towards him. You yell, "Pirate, you're an idiot!" And then your glove charges up. The cat, sensing the electricity coming, I guess, in the fur because they got that, hops off the face, and you punch into Bisk's face down on the ground, and it does that thing where it concusses, out the back, so all the force goes kagoom, and you smash Bisk down into the ground. The lightning won't hurt a stone golem, so it just sort of lets go. Well, it probably doesn't even let go, and he's dead. He's just wiggling his leg, as Bisk lays there, bleeding out on the ground next to the unconscious still king. Okay. Anybody who hasn't gone, I think you've all gone. These people all come up. They see you. The king's son Iatudi says, They're attacking the king. Protect him. They watch as the king's aide gets murdered in front of them all. He says like, "Get in there!" Oh wait, what does he sound like? He sounds like "Get in there! Protect the king!" And all these people start coming in, and I'm just gonna roll a series of attacks. We'll see what hits. But I'm just going to do the front lines of all these people, and then I'll let you go again. I don't think this attendant would come. This attendant would be here, but I don't think they would come. So where's my die?
Not after seeing 3 of his companions burst into flames.
Right, yeah. He watched that murder occur. Jeez. Because those people are gonna die for sure. They just haven't died yet.
It's a slow and painful death.
Rue is in the back, so they're probably gonna come for Rue first. Iatudi will roll. Oh, come on, bro.
Damn. You got some nice rolls today.
Even with Iatudi's stats, I don't think he'll beat you, but if you'll just roll a grit roll for Rue.
Actually rolled okay that time. You said I have +2 additional from...
Yes.
Okay.
Regretting that now.
22.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Why do you want us to lose so badly?
it wasn't supposed to go this way.
That's the fun of it.
It's the DM. DM also, he always like fights against us.
I'm not against you. This is very cool, but remember 2 hours ago when I was like, I don't think there's anything you could do that I wouldn't really, foresee. I didn't see this.
You told me the deal was I had to go against Bisk. I went against Bisk.
True. So
deal complete.
Iatudi runs up to this. Rue's a half orc, right? He's very big though.
Yeah.
Or is he's full? Okay, half. He runs up and he attempts to do his sword play maneuvers. He's very skilled, but maybe the shifting sands of the bowl or something throw him off. I'm just going to use your 22 for all of them because they're definitely coming at you. 17 on this one would be impossible. 18 would still be impossible. Is that another 18?
Yeah.
Okay, so all these people come up. Rue does this. I'm gonna say it's almost beyond human. Maybe it's because he feels so good, or beyond orc. But he starts so the sword comes at him, and he sort of bats it aside as the king's son strikes at him, and then a little, what is this, like a rogue maybe dwarf or something. Yeah, I don't know. I just picked a bunch of people because I didn't think they would matter, Runs up behind the king's son and tries to stab Rue, and Rue sort of sidesteps that. And then a couple more attacks come from some more human people that he bats to the side as well. Maybe a lightning strike that he ducks under, and then what looks like a scarecrow golem, but must be an entity of some sort, tries to swing a scythe at him, and Rue maybe does like a backflip and kicks it up, away, and is standing there in front of all these people protecting you all from behind. And then this side will run up. Yeah, go ahead.
We're protecting the king. As I'm doing that.
Okay. Cool. These people are all going to come this way. There's another chicken right here that's probably running away. They're going to come at anyone who's over here. So if you punched him like this and you let a cat out, you breathe fire over here. So these people are probably going to come at Bubbles. because they're coming from this direction and you're there. So, let's see, not this one actually. It needs to be this guy. I'm gonna swap these two just for the story. A short gentleman who witnessed the he doesn't know yet, but the death of Bisk, runs up and he says, they're killing the king, they're killing Bisk, and he runs at Bubbles from behind. You definitely know he's coming because he's yelling. They're all yelling. Everyone's yelling. The sand's swirling everywhere. Everyone's screaming. There's blood in the air now, and he's going to swing at you. So Bubbles, if you'll roll a d20. Do you have stats?
What am I rolling for?
To your grit to see if he strikes you.
Oh, D20. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. 12.
Okay.
Come on, low.
These people don't have stats, so I'm just going to use their base rolls. He's running at you. He's got blood all over him. So when the person who's running behind Bubbles, the person who just said, hey, yeah, that's my bad. So this individual has blood all over him. He's kind of holding his sword oddly, and when he swings, it's like so easy to dodge it doesn't matter. So he tries to attack Bubbles, and Bubbles just manages to sort of back away, towards maybe the body.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna roll for these other three just to see what happens. Oh, that's a 20.
Ouch.
That's an 8, so that doesn't hit. I lost my die. I'm just going to use your same 12. That's a 14. So, okay. Just like I did for Rue, so that it's fair. Sorry, Bubbles. They won.
Is Bubbles even armed?
That's a 4.
They're just beating up an unarmed man. Was nearby.
Bubbles has cat companions, cat familiars. So, no, not really, unless he's holding a weapon of some sort.
Well, considering I forgot to give him any gear.
He might have like a hammer or something. This character,
this
figure has a
sword
hammer
with his mouth.
Bubbles from these other individuals who come up. One of them misses in the same way the bloody individual does, but the, I guess, lizard thug looking dude comes up and attacks with his spiky maul and manages to catch Bubbles with one of the spikes. And then the goblin wizard casts a little bit of lightning. Definitely not as impressive as the professor's gauntlet, but casts some lightning at Bubbles, manages to strike him, really pisses off the cat who has jumped off of Bisk. So the cat seems to sense Bubbles in pain and is really mad, of course, but Bubbles just takes 5 points of damage. And then
you guys are idiots. If we're attacking the king, why is he still standing there fine or laying down or whatever he's doing?
Yeah, he's laying, yeah.
But this friggin' stick in the mud is dead. Did you see what we did to him? If we wanted to kill the king, he'd be dead.
Iatudi yells, You burnt 3 of his subjects! The Empire's subjects!
In front of it.
That was my bad, I'm sorry.
That was accidents happen, but what happened to Bisk was deliberate. If we wanted the king dead, he would be dead.
Wow. Confidence.
The people, the people, we'll just say they die. There's no way. Well, okay, I'm gonna roll to see if they stop, drop, and roll. How about that?
They already ran, and it's been how long?
It's been 3 seconds. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been 1 round, Shrimps. There's just so many people.
Time dilation.
Yeah. So they start running away. One of them falls into the pit and rolls down the hill. So that one can survive, but the other two do die in fire. And then Loro acted first, right?
I think so.
Okay, so
Yelled.
he yelled and started running and burned those people. So so Loro acted first. As the smoke clears from the people, and all these people are standing around, right? Loro feels and remembers at the same time the fortune telling of him being in the sand surrounded by his party members or whatever. The king's son, Iatudi, Bisk, the king, he feels and remembers all at once that this is the scene that he was foretold, if you remember what happened from 2 hours ago and the last time.
I don't.
Okay, so in the vision, Loro stabbed himself in the chest, in his human chest.
Oh, right. Makes total sense. Actually was something that I was considering. Okay, let's go. So,
he did that with a knife that's probably on the ground.
Right. So, the captain is gonna look to the commotion, look to the huge amount of people that's running towards him, threatening to kill him, and he's just gonna panic a little bit, look around, look to the ground. The parrot is gonna say, "Abandon ship!" And then the captain is gonna grab the knife real quick and stab himself in the heart, and the parrot is just gonna fly away.
Wait. That's not what happens. That can't possibly happen. Yeah, so
that cannot happen?
It can't happen because what happens is
What happened was
the knife is in front and sort of near Bisk, right? Loro grabs the knife. All these people are running. Loro stabs into. Hopefully, you don't do your actual heart. But if you're saying your actual heart, we're gonna have an issue.
well, I mean, you're telling him to stab in like the fleshy part by his ribs and his armpit. That will kill someone if you stab deep enough.
It's like in the peck, you know.
Oh, okay. So you want him to stab himself in the titty?
Yeah. Sort of towards the side.
That's where your lung is.
Stab the titty.
Not into the ribs though. Like towards the armpit. It would make your arm basically unusable, or very painful, right? But anyway. Do you want to roll an attack to see if you hit yourself in the heart, or do you just want to do the?
So here's the thing.
He's like, "Don't do this."
So here's the thing. What is going on in? I guess the vision could have influenced his actions, but he is basically abandoning the ship, right?
Okay.
He's just leaving. Well, what he wants to do is leave the body, right?
Okay. Well, either way, then I guess it doesn't matter because that's your goal. So sure, you can stab anywhere you want because it's your character.
Yeah, but I guess considering that the vision also ended in a sea of treasure,
right?
Now that you told me and reminded me, actually, it would make more sense that he would pursue that vision.
Right, I think so too.
My memory was bad.
Yeah, does he do it with the same body?
It was still Loro. Yeah,
it was the same body. Okay. Well, Loro is the parrot, but that's fine.
Right, I know. Yeah.
So he's just gonna do the same thing. He's gonna grab the knife. He's gonna stab in the appropriate place.
Or hit your armpit. It doesn't matter, really. Just like somewhere non-life threatening.
Basically.
So, the knife pierces into your body.
Okay.
Right? And you are Bisk.
What?
Huh? What?
Everyone else sees Bisk standing there No one sees a parrot and a pirate anymore. As the knife enters your body, you are Bisque. You take like 4 points of damage.
Okay, but let me just get something straight. I still got my memories. The parrot is still there, albeit invisible.
Yes.
Okay, am I aware that this happened, or would I need to look in a mirror or down?
Well, I assume when you stab yourself, you're looking down. I would assume. Unless you were looking at everyone else and stab yourself, which seems odd. But you could definitely see your arm, and your arm looks like the dead body's arm. You're even wearing the same clothes, which is crazy.
Okay, same clothes. I assume same face. The body hasn't changed.
Nope, body's the same.
Voice?
Your voice is Bisque's voice.
How does Bisque sound?
You're about to get killed.
Speaks like this.
He's got a stick up his ass.
Mannerisms and words used?
You speak like yourself. You have your same memories.
That's gonna be a doozy, okay. Oh, what is happening to me?
Oh, God.
Bisque?
But that's true. There isn't.
Tailspin.
Yeah.
No, it's be me, Captain Lotto.
No, you look a lot like the dude that we just murdered. You sound like him too. Same clothes, same uptight voice.
Is the king's son's name Eatudes?
Yeah, that's him. Eatudes.
Eatudes, 1 moment. Can you just call these people off for a moment?
As Eatudes
Something's
runs up,
fucky here.
I'm gonna roll for Eatudes.
Okay.
Oh, 15. Okay, yeah. As Eatudes comes up after Rue does his incredible gymnastics act, he could see the second Bisque and the dead Bisque, right? And he sort of like stops at his tracks and he's like, "Hold on, wait a second. What is this? I don't know of magic that does this." So he'll say like, hold, and he only technically has command over this side, but this side
It's gonna be a dick.
Based on what has just happened, technically they're gonna pause for a different reason, not because he said it.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they'll probably continue running forward, but this guy in the very front is gonna yell something like, "They just killed Bisque! They killed Lord Bisque! Get him!"
So Bubbles is going to look at him and go, "He's standing right there."
Do I have the smarts to pretend I am Bisque?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's Lotto, right? It's Lotto. He probably wouldn't.
What if the parrot's still there though, right?
The parrot is
Invisible, apparently.
there, but doesn't have a separate way of speaking, I guess. So it's all one entity.
Well, then why couldn't the parrot just make him fake it? If the parrot's the smart one and the brain's the
No,
No, that's
no,
not
no.
how it works. If only. If only. Well, shoot. I guess he's just gonna stand there dumbfounded, take like 2 steps back, and
Okay.
it not be me.
You just said it's you.
It not be me, Bisque. It be me, Captain Lotto.
Oh, right.
This guy, this bloody guy says, "It is him. That's him. I mean,
Oh, yes, that's Bisque.
Him who?
wait.
I'm winking out, trying to wink at Yes,
He
please.
me.
This guy turns and runs.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah. He, y'all can, I guess, roll brilliance or even presence to see what everyone's sort of feeling and thinking in this space. If you're looking for information specifically, tell me that's what you're looking for, but we'll just all roll.
Yeah. Bubbles is going to roll brilliance.
Okay.
Or roll for it. Whatever.
I'm gonna roll to see if he's got anything important he's running away with.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do treasure sense, and
treasure,
presence I got a
perfect.
+0, but treasure sense gives me a +1.
Yeah. Perfect.
17.
Okay, I rolled a 9 total, unfortunately.
Okay. Perfect.
Actually, I got 20 then with them.
Oh, dang.
I'm rolling probably presence because what I want to be seeing is this some kind of other plot here, some other distraction. So I'm actually going to start looking around to see if we're distracted.
Okay.
I've rolled 17 towards that.
Okay. And Grand Marshal, are you looking for anything specific, or are you just perceiving life?
Perceiving.
Okay. Rue?
Perceiving.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to investigate or anything? Go ahead.
Is the knife still like in Orlo's chest or
No, you don't
this
see a knife.
chest? Oh, okay.
No.
So you didn't even see the knife. Gotcha.
No, that's easy. There's no knife.
Okay. Can I just like look over at the king to see what's going on over there?
Yeah, sure. I don't think you need to roll for that. He's not moving or pretending or anything. The king's unconscious for sure. He looks real gaunt. He's super dirty except for his face where the attendants cleaned it off. Grand Marshal, you see these crowds of people in this space, but where this side over here seems to be sort of allied and unified behind Iatsuti, this side, which is larger, is more sort of milling about, like they're waiting for something. And you also see amongst them people who don't seem to fit quite right. There are pigeon people sort of in the middle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Loro, you see this guy running away. He doesn't seem to have anything on him that would be treasure. He's got some pretty basic gear. He's pretty nondescript. And then, okay. Bubbles, what did you roll investigating this guy? It's like a 17 or something? I can't remember.
17.
As this guy runs away, Bubbles, you clock that he's got blood on him, yes, but it's all on his left side, close to his armpit, and running down from a wound that is the reason why he couldn't attack you sort of normally, it seems like, is because he's wounded.
Very sus.
Yep.
Damn it, I think if I rolled better, I think I could have sensed the dagger. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can look at that guy. He doesn't have a dagger. All of his stuff seems normal. That guy who's running away. Pretty basic, common, to the point that it's, like, you could find it anywhere. Literally anywhere. No treasure on him at all.
So if I try to pull the dagger, I'm not going to find any dagger?
Yeah, sure. You just explore your own chest, right? And you find the dagger sticking out of your arm, and you can feel it. Like, it hurts.
Well, it doesn't.
Well, okay, true. It doesn't. That's true, but true.
No one's gonna clock to the fact that the guy running away has the same wound as Mr. Pirate Dude just gave himself.
You clocked it.
Did
Are
I
you
say
telling
that
other people?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm
okay. So you say that, I guess. None of these people seem to care. Nobody really cares. There's tons of wounded people at the signal. Okay, cool.
I'd hear it. I've still got my chance to look around, I guess.
I am so confused.
Yeah, what were you investigating, Prof?
So
I can't remember.
I was looking at the sort of the crowd and looking for the sort of any other things that were going on that was like a distraction.
Oh yeah, the
Which we
outside
thought
area.
we would be, yeah.
Right.
So that would include the dwarf, but
yeah, so
I
that
don't know if
dude's
I'd pick
running
up on the
away,
way.
wounded. You also see these parrot people. There's pigeon people, excuse me, pigeon people. Yes, don't want to get that wrong. A bunch of the people sort of in the back are having a discussion with the rock people. Having a discussion. There's an elf back there, and a bunch of random rock people having a discussion in the back. They're not really focused on this at all.
yeah.
Like they're here, but they're not even looking at the king or any of that stuff.
Okay. I can't remember the son's name again. God damn it.
Iatudi.
Sorry. Iatudi. Iatudi. Look, Bisk is a traitor. He has been imitating you and trying to raise an army underneath this cabin's underneath. We're not here for your father.
Someone yelled that they were going to kill the king.
He's an idiot.
Bisk, is this true?
Can I roll brilliance just to see if I would react in a smart way?
Yeah, you can roll however if you want to roll for it.
Okay, alright, here we go. Damn it. I wanted a decision, not a 10. I can't decide anything on a 10. Alright, fine. Loda's just gonna... He was exploring his chest, looking for the dagger. He found a dagger, but he didn't pull it. He's just gonna look up and... were you referring... Were ye talking to me?
Bisk, what's wrong with you?
That's not Bisk.
Did they hit you? What do you mean it's not Bisk?
Bisk,
Clearly it's Bisk.
See this dead body at my feet? That's Bisk.
He's gonna, I guess. He's gonna say something like, "Everyone, keep an eye on these individuals," and he'll walk over to Bisk, I think.
Oh, the true
I'm
Bisk.
sort of, because I'm there anyway, I'm sort of continuing to talk. He was raising an army and he was summoning people through the monolith.
What?
You really want to have you've got people loyal to you, you may want to defend the king now.
Where are these people, these individuals
Well,
you speak of?
we kind of exploded underneath.
What do you mean you exploded?
But he may have more.
Standing here with us.
I didn't explode. The monolith.
Do you see the weird
Underneath.
things behind us that really aren't paying attention to what's going on?
Sure. So?
You don't think that's a little odd?
Well,
There's
I think that now that I'm here protecting the king, I think it makes sense that some people would have discussions about what to do next. And furthermore, if you were underneath, as you claim, and
I
you
wasn't
exploded.
underneath.
No, not
I
you.
I was in the recovery tent.
He turns back, okay, to talk to the professor.
Yeah.
If you were underneath, how then did you arrive here? And if you exploded, why are you standing before me?
I'm gonna try and pull the dagger.
Magic.
It's not hard to pull the dagger. You're just gonna pull it out?
Yep.
Pull that sucker out, and you're not Bisk anymore.
Oh shit! I'm gonna put it back in real quick.
Okay, just to make sure, you're gonna take damage every time you stab yourself. Okay?
Oh fuck! Okay.
It's only fair.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you pull
So
it
it's
out.
4 damage?
Yeah. We'll call it 4.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put it back in then.
He goes, Bisk, What? What sorcery was this?
I need to go to the bathroom. He's just gonna leave.
Bisque, wait, stay.
He's gonna start running.
Bisque is very much dead. Yes, I killed him.
Yeah,
He was a traitor.
So they all can see Bisque, and if Bisque is doing something sus, they're gonna like try and surround Bisque or Loro, who is Bisque. So he's gonna say like, "Get this man or Bisque, I'm not sure, but under the king's authority, nobody leaves. Bring Bisque back," and they're gonna chase you.
Okay.
A bunch of these people are gonna run after you.
So I was planning a bit of a diversion tactic in case this happens. So I want to use flamethrower on the ground in front of me. And while I'm doing this, if I can, I want to remove the dagger and turn a corner if there is any. But the flame should be enough, I think.
Sure. So you're gonna run sort of this way through one of the doors or whatever.
If I can.
Away. Yeah, I see no problem with that. And I assume everyone here is about as fast as you. It's not like you're in poor health except for your wounds. So like in theory, you would run out, blow fire right before it to sort of stop them. The ground doesn't resist, so you could just do that.
The fire was more to block the vision.
Right.
So it's like a wall of flame directed at nothing.
So you're in theory going to be like around a corner, and then they're going to come through, and you're going to be...
I'm just going to pull the dagger and hide it.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That's all doable, I think. I don't see like that you would need to stop like to roll against anybody even. So we'll just say that, you know, people come behind you, and then you sort of do that like vanishing maneuver, right? You're just someone else. I'm gonna roll for these people to see if they saw.
Yeah,
I
was thinking that.
20. So
well, all this for nothing.
No. I think if you keep moving, it would make sense. But if
I wouldn't be running super sus anymore. Like I would be walking fast.
Yeah.
Smooth.
I think as they come around, if you're still walking, even though you're the pirate, you know, they might be like, I think that's him.
Yeah.
Probably, or
I'll send my dog after them.
Well, so it's just gonna be a group of people. They're probably gonna say like split up, find him or Bisque or whatever. So they're gonna like fan out into the area, and they're gonna follow you. If you want to send a dog after them, that's fine too. I'll bring the gargoyle over here. While that's occurring, this bro's running away for sure. This way.
Nobody's gonna stop that man. Okay.
If you want to, you could go after him.
I mean, well, what am I gonna do? Stick another cat on him?
Yeah, I mean, he's already wounded.
It works really, really well.
It worked really well.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah. So Bubbles is gonna go after that guy because.
Okay. The cat like leaps up onto Bubbles' shoulder, and you both run. You run after him. He's gonna head around the corner here. And then you're gonna come through, right? And oh shoot!
Swear to God, if he does the same thing.
As you come around the corner, you see a woman standing here. You see a woman standing here, and she's like got like a weapon out, and she's like sharpening it or whatever, and he's gone. That guy is gone.
Mine was more impressive.
He's pretty fast for a short guy with a wound.
True.
That's your answer. True.
Well, what do you mean? He's as fast as you are.
What?
So this individual runs through, and turns this way. Bubbles follows him through the path and turns this way. And instead of finding that individual, he finds some random woman like sharpening her sword and, you know, like kicking or whatever. But the other guy is nowhere to be seen. You don't even hear footsteps of like the path or anything.
He did have a head start.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. You know what? Bubbles is going to send the cat because the cat's going to be able to smell that dude. And
Does the smell the same?
Pardon?
Is the smell the same?
The cat would know.
Cats know everything.
It's true. The cat knows like when people are home and stuff.
Mm-hmm. If you sent a cat to follow that dude, he would, or it, I don't know, you know, the cat would walk up to this woman. It wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, I know that this woman is suspicious, but if it were following a trail like a bloodhound, it would go right to this woman.
Okay, then fine. Search and destroy cat time.
Hell yeah.
So cool.
She looks up and she says, can I help you?
No, we're good. Just taking a little stroll with my kitty here, just, you know, seeing the sights. And as Bubbles says this, he's slowly reaching up to take the cat off his shoulder and place it on the ground. He just needs to stretch his legs a bit, you know.
Yes. Speaking of stretching one's legs, yes, I'm going to take a walk actually as well. She starts to like try and walk away.
Okay, well, now Bubbles is going to just, you know, and the cat's going to. Bubbles is going to. And the cat's
oh, shit.
Just,
the ultimate move.
If you'll roll a d20.
Okay.
This is an attack, right? You're attacking this woman?
Well, the cat is, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just making sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
Oh, God, excuse me.
Oh, that for.
Okay, okay, where's my thing? Where's my sheet? Okay, I rolled a 19.
Okay.
Yep.
Plus 4 is 23. I think the cat would probably jump on this woman's back. And knock her down probably in this like vicious attack. If you'll roll damage to see how much it hurts, I guess. But
Okay, is that a D20 or a D6?
D6, please.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know the scores.
No, you're doing great.
A 6?
Damn.
Excuse me.
Okay, so yeah, this cat is ferocious.
One cat.
Yeah, and it knocks this woman down and starts clawing into her. As she falls, she sort of falls down, you know, face forward, and is screaming even more than the cat attack would make sense. And she's like clutching her chest and screaming. Gosh, if she doesn't. I think she has no option other than to pull the knife from her chest. And so you see her reach up and grab the knife out of her chest and become the person who was running before. Okay, let me swap him back just for continuity. He's down on the ground, super bloody front and back. The cat's attacking him. He says, "Please, no! It wasn't my idea. I just did what he said. Please let me go. Please let me go."
Did what? Who said?
Bisk. It was Bisk. It was all Bisk's idea. All I did was pretend to be him. That's it. And he's gonna, I guess, try and get up and maybe run away. But he's
gonna have a hard
super
time.
injured. Yeah.
Can Bubbles just sort of like leave the cat on him? Granted, you know.
Yeah, like
sort of restrained. Can Bubbles
Yeah. Like
grab him
hold
by
him
the arm
down
and
or whatever.
drag him
Yeah.
back over to everyone?
Sure.
Wow.
At this point, he's like bleeding and stuff so much that I think he might even pass out, just like
Well, that's
screaming
fine.
in terror and stuff. So he'll pass out. Yeah.
Drag his unconscious body over there. No big
Okay,
deal, just
perfect.
grab by an ankle.
Perfect. So while this is occurring, before he's dragged back, this conversation continues at the king. Iatudi has had his forces sort of surround everyone, and he's doing that thing where, like, just like y'all don't know really what's happening, he's like, okay, explain it to me again. How exactly is Bisk dead and also running away? And how were you involved with the explosion?
Who is he necessarily asking this of?
I guess you and Rue and probably the Grand Marshal, because the Grand Marshal's still here.
Bisk was disguised as you
As
and
me?
was teleporting in an army of mercenaries. They all had, very armored. We kind of weren't that very stealthy. One of us did get captured, and they were going to kill that person. So we all kind of jumped in, and then there was some magic. Do not do magic around the monolith, by the way. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, ever. So yes.
I think he would know who you are simply because you were probably in the palace and in those spaces a lot, right? And he did offer a deal to the Coggers, so he probably knows who the Grand Marshal is. So that definitely is going to lead towards him believing you, I think. The witness is gone. Okay. How exactly was it that Bisk was seen before the explosion here tending to the king? He's been tending to the king for 7 days since the atrocity occurred with my sister.
Well, as you saw, I think our colleague found a way to appear like him. Seems to be a thing that's going around.
Right.
And obviously, Bisk was disguised as you, so obviously there's some kind of disguise-y thingy majig.
Disguise-y thingy majig. I think Bubbles could bring back this individual, right?
Hopefully he's still alive.
Well, yeah, he's definitely bleeding and unconscious. So Bubbles rocks back up with this unconscious bro. There's all these people around, and Iatudi will say, "And you're telling me this is Bisk?" And he points at like the bloody unconscious bro on the ground.
I really hope
still
so.
Chewing on.
You're really stretching the imagination with this plot.
Okay, so Bubbles has dragged this guy basically right up beside Tootie. I can't say that name.
Yeah, Tootie. It's okay.
He's dragged him up by his ankle. And he's just like sort of like dropped the body there. And well, here, I'm going to show you what's going on. So Bubbles is going to take the knife that the guy pulled out, and he's going to stick it in him.
Into who?
Into the freaking guy that the cat's using as a chew toy.
So that guy is real dead if you do that. Like he's stabbed himself twice. He's been attacked. Okay,
it's gonna prove to Tootie that obviously something weird's going
It's
on.
oh god. Okay, so you stab him. He's not resisting. It's easy. You don't have to worry about it. He dies right in front of the king's son, and he does not change into anyone else.
Of course not. Of course. Why would it be so easy?
Maybe. Let me help you.
Look at
What?
this. This stabs the guy, kills him.
Stab the king.
They're killing people. Come over here. Come over here. He pulls people over.
Can I walk over and grab the knife and plunge it into my own side?
Yeah, sure. As you stab yourself, you take 4 points of damage.
Stabbing each other.
Okay.
What's going on?
And you become the guy who's on the ground.
What?
Right.
Not exactly what I was expecting, but yeah.
So now he's dead, and the king's son is like, whoa, whoa, what is happening here?
We don't even know what's going on anymore.
If only I didn't run away.
Did you get any injuries like recently with a knife?
You asking Iatudi?
Mm-hmm.
Recently, no. No, I can't say so. No, I spar frequently, so I've been nicked with swords and cudgels and all sorts of things, but no knives. No.
God, no.
Do you don't like spar with Bisque or anything like that?
Well, I've sparred near Bisque, I guess. I would never fight Bisque. He's a weak old man, but he visits the training grounds from time to time. Of course, I have a personal training ground.
Spar with your sister at all?
I have sparred. Well. With her in the past, it's true, but not recently.
She's your old dog.
Okay, your sister bears knife wounds consistent with these knives. She could have been dead a lot longer than we knew.
Well, we had people investigate the body, of course, of my poor, dear, departed sister. And he motions to the top of the monolith, and he looks sad in front of you. And he says, "But she seemed to have just passed before the king." And he's like, did what he did.
She still looks like she's just passed.
Yes, we have some theories on that with the leading theorists, magical theorists besides yourself, but no true knowledge of why that's happening, except possibly the shielding properties of my father's sword may be shielding her as well.
Right. Well, if it isn't that, and she could have been dead a lot longer than you knew, preserved on that monolith.
Huh.
So.
Okay, so you're saying this guy killed my sister, and
I'm saying the murderer might not even be in this dome anymore.
Well, okay. Who is the murderer then? He's very confused and very frustrated.
Well, if someone took her appearance and has been imitating her for a while, it could be anyone. It's the perfect crime.
Oh, I have a theory.
Okay.
I'm not here.
I'm glad you do, because I have no clue.
Are you gonna try and come around, I guess? There are other entrances.
Even if Loto comes back, he's dumb. He's not gonna be able to come up with any theories.
True. Okay.
I think it was the other pirate.
I mean,
yeah.
Bubbles is smart as hell, but he's been out of the loop for a long time, and I have no clue.
So, okay. You think my sister died long ago at some point. Someone has been using her image, and that's not her up there?
No, that is her up there. She She has knife wounds consistent with multiple of these daggers.
Plus, this guy on the ground here is dead, and he didn't like change appearance, so I don't think it happens after you're dead.
But you
I'm saying you're
changed
I'm saying your
appearance. Okay.
Yes. They've used your sister's body to imitate her for who knows how long. So
The words you don't want to hear.
Okay.
I'm saying that I do not believe even the longest investigation is going to be able to find out exactly who killed it easily.
Well,
with such a long time frame.
We traveled here together, and she seemed exactly like herself. I don't. It seems like if what you're saying is true, that Iatsudi's pretty smart. He says if what you're saying is true, it doesn't seem like someone could impersonate her, correct? Because you, and he points at, I guess, Rue, who looks like the dead guy, you don't sound like whoever that is.
I mean, I'm not like talented at like changing my voice, but some people can.
Right. So you think she died at some point, she's been living, or I guess the imposter's been living amongst us, pretending to be her, but doesn't it involve a knife of some sort? And so, like, Rue, you have this thing in you.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts. It didn't hurt the pirate, but it hurts you. Like, you're stabbed. So you're also bleeding. It doesn't seem, well, I guess in theory you could be anybody, and so you could muscle through it, but having stabbed yourself, you don't think someone could do this for like long amounts of time. Like a ball, there's no way you would make it through an entire like 4-hour ball stabbed and bleeding with no one noticing blood, right? So just in standing there, it doesn't seem like you could do this for more than, say, an hour at most, right? Because it would just cut you the entire time. You'd be bleeding the entire time. There'd be blood everywhere.
What was the last thing you remember your sister doing?
Let's see. She had... We had arrived here. We had been pursuing our own entanglements. She was often visiting, that grove thing over there, and I was making deals and doing sigil work and making sure that Bisk had everything he needed. I do remember on the day of, we had met in the morning with my father, as we often do when the sigil begins. We had eaten together. My father had left for the center of the ring. He loved to be in the center of the ring. Still knocked out. He's got a lot of sleep to do. You might be able to rouse him, but yeah. So Iatudi looks over at his father, and he's asleep, and he's like, okay, I hope he's okay. But he says, and then I and my sister parted ways sort of just before the ceremony. She seemed like herself. She was, I think, just going to walk around the sigil, sort of do she loved to meet with people, of course, so she probably went to talk to people, meet people. I think there was a challenge, a duel occurring even before the sigil started. Which there was.
No, I mean, the knife wounds, it seems consistent. I don't know what the reason is doing that, but it's too much of a coincidence.
And where did this knife come from?
I look around. Well, we have been investigating daggers. We have had numerous inquiries about their production, but I hadn't seen one until now, actually.
Right. I assume that Bramwell, who was there, and frickin' what's your steward's name? Shoot.
Mine.
Yeah.
Gerald,
that's right. I assume that they both would share information just like Linny has. So you would probably have the info about the daggers that were commissioned on behalf of the Empire, 3 of them. They were all etched or whatever. They have all these symbols.
Yeah, we had plenty of time to share that info.
If you put the glasses on, do you see the real person or something?
Wait, what?
You gave me some glasses. I got some glasses from a while ago that were magic. I stole them from someone.
Oh, yeah. Sure,
So,
put those suckers on.
I don't know. I don't. Bramwell has them. He's back in there.
Okay. They're probably in his purse. That's So.
Referring to that.
That's a great idea. I wish I had thought of that. But since you don't have them anyway, I'll tell you. No, I had no intention for that to work like that. But that's cool. But I do think you would all know that the things that you were investigating, these daggers specifically, were commissioned by the Empire. There are records of these daggers in the House of Note, and who commissioned them and that sort of thing.
Right, I tell him that.
Okay. So some assassins commissioned these daggers, and here we have one of them. Is this? You're telling me this is an assassin? And because only one of you. Hey, Professor.
Yes.
That's the guy who ran away during the House of Note fight.
Gasp. Hang on, I know him. Yes, he is one of the assassins. He was one of the ones that attacked my colleague in the House of Note.
Do you have any proof of this? Sure wish Laura was here.
Yeah, a witness just fled.
The evidence is my eyewitness. I saw it.
Okay, let's bring Loro back, because gotta get all the pieces. I would assume you make your hasty walk all the way around and then come back in.
If I'm going back, I want to go back without the hat, and the parrot is hidden inside the jacket.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you're... wait, hold on. You're very bloody. Do you want to do anything about that?
Am I?
Yeah, because you've stabbed yourself twice now.
Oh, yeah, true. Since I don't have pain to alert me that, would I notice?
I mean,
I guess
you
so.
did the act of stabbing yourself.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that is true. So is there any body of water that I can clean it up?
There's a little bit of water over there, but
could I change my my clothes at the my ship? Over at my ship.
Sure. I don't see why not.
A bit of time has passed, right?
Yeah. What? Let's see. Oh, jeez. So you're walking quickly.
By the way.
Wait, what'd you say?
Where is Sir Pease, by the way?
Sir Pease was investigating over here, so he would have seen this. He would have come back over here. The explosion would have occurred, so he would be somewhere near the cog area when the explosion went off.
Fine, fair enough.
It would
leave him there.
Yeah, it would be too difficult for the other people, I guess, to swap, because they're still standing there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
just a quick change of clothes.
Sure, yeah. Change your clothes and come back. What's up, Iker?
I had a question because you had sent me some information that Lenny would have, but she would have received it while they were down in the monolith. So I'm not sure how to get that information to everyone.
I had never intended for anyone to play two characters at once, which is why this is so difficult. Because I didn't know you were going to attack, so
I didn't start that.
You told me to side against Bisk. You knew it was coming.
I didn't know it was coming like that. So let's say hypothetically, all of these people are having this discussion. It does make sense that Lenny would head towards this space. It makes sense that Gerald would head towards this space, and Bramwell too, even though he's probably a little discombobulated. So if you want, I guess
a little bit sore.
It could make sense that you all meet up sort of on the way, because you're technically all coming from the same place except Bramwell. Because you would all sort of have to come through this door, so you might all meet up. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. I'm cool with that. I don't know where your characters are. I think I have one in here of this bro. That's not him. That's not him. All right. Well, I'm gonna use Bisk's body as because you look the same.
Nice. It's another Bisk.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, I know, right? There's like 4 Bisks standing around.
No, there are 4 of them.
Wait, why won't it let me? Oh, it's the wrong button. All right. So we got you. Lenny's probably over here somewhere. Oh, dang, you were right here. Well, let's just meet over freaking here. Maybe that... Nah, that doesn't make sense. It has to make sense.
I'd be hanging out by the king. Oh, you mean the other group? Sorry.
So who's meeting who?
So I think... I'm just going to use this one. I think that... Gerald, Lenny, Bramwell if he wants to, and possibly even Sir Peas could all meet sort of in a like a smart person meeting over here, while everyone else is being interrogated. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not.
God, it's gonna be hard knowing what Sir Peas knows from what happened.
Yeah, I know. So if you just want to like say that you give them all that information, that's cool too. Yeah, and we don't have to go
through
it.
Give all relevant information. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
share it all. Let one person do the thinking.
Gives glasses.
Yeah, sure. Bramwell can bring his glasses over. Hooray! I'm so glad I thought of that. So, Iatudi would probably say, like, grab these people for questioning. And these individuals will be surrounded, dead bodies laying over here. And then he'll go to the House of Note in order to find out the information, if it's accurate, right? Because these daggers have records. So as he's coming out, he can probably meet all the smart people and Loro, if you want, who's coming back in, or Sir Peas, whichever one would be here. I'm gonna
considering, I think it would be Loro, right? Because Sir Peas is all the way on the other side.
Yeah, I think so too. But if we're letting, Bramwell come in, then time has passed, so it would be all right.
I don't want to do 2 characters.
I know it's
I don't want to do 2, but I don't know if I can just hand information off and then.
Yeah. You hand off information, and like one person can represent you all if you want as well, in a discussion. Loro.
Okay, be right back, real quick.
All right, cool. Gerald. The information that you want me to just say it all?
Okay.
Hello. I see you've got my colleague in the middle there. I hope he's not Causing too much trouble.
Being held for treason against the king and the death of Bisk and also possibly my sister. Can I help you?
Well, I don't believe that's true at all. Maybe I can help you. What can we do to clear his name?
I'm heading to the House of Note to look up some dagger information. It should take mere moments with the assistance of the individuals there. How can you help me?
Well, I think between us, we've all got copies of that information, but we can absolutely point you in the direction of the originals. We've been asked to investigate. In fact, actually, Bisk assigned us to, one of us to look for the weapon.
They are claiming that Bisk is the murderer, but if Bisk was trying to get to the bottom of the murder, why would he be the murderer and also send someone to look for the murder weapon? Is there record of that assignment?
Well, actually, he didn't follow up on that assignment, I think, because he said, "Do it or I'll arrest you," and then never did. So that wasn't to me, but that was someone else's assignment.
So there's no record of this assignment. You?
Oh no! The pirate signed that.
Back.
Oh. he signed that. I mean, there should be record of it. It was just never fulfilled. I don't believe he actually cared.
Loro, they're talking about... Go ahead.
I would take my records out about the daggers and sort of hand them over, sort of like a summary, and we'll probably have references to like the actual shelf that the information's come from, because it's like very academic.
And Lenny has information as well.
Gerald.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I came across something, but I'm not really sure. Is there do you know if I know you do magic, but you do kind of a little bit of mundane magic, but is there someone that really studies super crazy magic? Intense
what kind of magic? Are we talking?
Someone that just wants to make magic wilder.
Well, there was some very strange fellow covered in tattoos that walked up to my stall and was asking very elitist about our efforts and was trying to show off. Unfortunately, he did extinguish myself lighting torches, so that was a bit embarrassing for him.
Oh, yeah, runes.
Okay. Do they look like this? Can I kind of hold up a sheet of paper that I've scribbled kind of copies of these runes?
I think we said they did.
Oh, okay.
I believe you said at least they look like the same language.
I think they might be behind this. I don't know. The way that magic's been acting, it's all out of whack.
Yes, there's definitely something wrong with the magic around here.
Do you know
various examples of extreme magic happening where it shouldn't be?
Do you know what house they're from?
Oh no, it's just anyone. It can happen to anyone from our experiments on the dome. Some things have just been going crazy. But I definitely think, there's other forces at play, but I do not believe that my colleague is in league with these other forces. He has been absolutely on board in terms of helping. If he believes it's Bisk, I'm sure he has information that's led him to that.
Please tell me Loro is standing here too, please.
Yeah, I just came back. I had to take a leak real quick, and I'm trying to piece together what's going on.
I was just making sure. So what's happening is they discussed the agreement about you looking for the murder weapon, the one that was just really quickly written and you just signed. And then they're talking about daggers and really intense magic and all that stuff. And Lenny is sharing pictures of the runes and all that stuff. And they just have all of this information that they're trying to get to someone, right? And Loro,
right,
not only saw a person covered in tattoos in a vision, but also has a knife with these symbols.
Well, I hit
on
it.
You hit it, but when the symbols start moving around, some of them are on the knife. You're holding, like, you've seen the knife.
Yeah.
So
And they're the same as the tattooed man, right? And I've also seen the tattooed man doing something with the rock people and going down the hole before the explosion, right?
You saw a person in a cloak.
Oh, in a cloak. I didn't see tattoos.
Correct.
Okay, never mind then. Regarding these scribbles, the symbols and whatnot, they do awfully look like the dagger that turns you into the Bisque Man. Remember, the parrot is hiding.
Right.
But
A
I
dagger
could not
that-
stop.
Turns you into bisque. We don't have a dagger that turns you into bisque. We have a dagger that turns you into
might
some
not have.
random dagger. So you have another dagger. Are you an assassin?
No, I found this dagger on the ground in the middle of all that chaos thing that was going on. And beside the king, someone shouted, "Kill the king!" And then I killed that person and I saved the king. And then I grabbed his dagger.
Give it to me.
Smooth.
Oh, I hid it in a place because I wasn't too sure if it was important. And I know where it is. If you mind following me to it.
Yeah, there's no way he's going alone, so he's gonna motion over a bunch of people. Come with me, come with me. And where are you gonna go?
Where I turned the corner there, where I hit the dagger.
So we gotta go. Okay, so they walk back over. We'll say it's the same corner. Okay, they walk across.
Okay.
There's this string of people. You can see the other individuals being interrogated and held there, and other members of the King's Sons group sort of asking questions, really shaking their heads, confused. One of them's looking at the dead guy. One of them's like concerned with Bisque. More attendants have arrived to take care of the king because someone burned them all. Yeah, okay. Cool. And so you take him to this dagger.
Yeah, I grab the dagger from, well, if it's still there, I go to grab the dagger where I hit it.
Still there.
Okay, cool. I look down to do the thing again. I stab myself again, and before I do, I want to take notice to the wounded left, and if possible, since Loro was the one that I'm pretty sure he was the one that saw the wounds on the princess, right? The dead princess. If there is any, like, if it's similar, if it's the same.
Yeah, it
looks the same.
One of them's a slice, but the other one does seem to be the same length, or I guess width of the blade that's in the princess's chest.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Chest, armpit area, same place.
Not in the princess. No, it's like straight through her. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this does hurt a bit. Well, would hurt.
Do you?
Anyway, it does leave us. Yeah, I do.
Okay, I just want to make sure you have enough health to do this.
Just drops dead. Nothing happens.
So you're gonna slide that bad boy in again?
Yep, it goes right in here, and then he's gonna stab himself.
4 points of damage. Yeah.
4 points of damage. Yep.
And you're Bisque again.
Ta-da! I mean, ta-da! I don't remember Bisque's voice.
Well,
the King's Son
interesting.
is. Yeah. This definitely leads credence to everything you've been saying. It's very confusing still, but the King's Son, Iatudi, says, "Okay." And he takes your records, looks through them. You've got a bunch of notes about like how the languages and all of that stuff. You don't have an example of the tattooed person. You have this knife. The King's Son says, "Okay, so you're saying you don't know who killed my sister, but Bisk is somehow involved. What could possibly be his motive?
I think it's to set the magic free.
What?
Set the magic free. And what does that even mean?
Okay, so I've been doing a lot of research, and like magic used to be longer lasting and like way different than it is now. And then something must have happened that caused everyone to kind of bottle it up into very small portions, so like you couldn't be as powerful as other people. I don't know.
Right. And okay, how does this play into the monolith again? This giant, and he like motions to the thing behind him, this statue that we had commissioned. Because this thing is supposed to be the future of the empire. This was going to change everything. It's just a way to make magic, bigger, more accessible. It's a way to make almost miracles happen. Bisk helped design it. Why would he do all of this and then kill my sister on it?
Well, you know what I was saying about that? We had some fella come up to us who's, very elitist about his magic and such. Well, he really didn't like the idea of our house making it more accessible in the same sort of way, how we teach common man and all that. Very just almost disgusted by the idea. So maybe it's the opposite. Well, there's definitely different factions here, because they definitely would not want it to be more accessible.
I guess maybe that's what I meant, like free for like specific people.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say I believe all of this. Why did you kill Bisk? I mean, I get it. You're claiming that he did.
I haven't spoken to my colleague.
Your houses. Right.
Yes.
Your houses. This guy specifically attacked my father and Bisk. Are you saying my father's involved in this?
That was someone else.
Right, sure. There are many mercenary
Loto is confident
sailors.
Loto is confident that by not having the hat on, that he can somehow pass as another person that wasn't there.
Did you attack the king?
No.
Oh.
I saved the king. I killed his assailant.
Right. Well.
You see something shuffle inside the jacket.
Okay. So I'm gonna take you all with your information. I'm gonna take you back out into the center. Yep. We're gonna have a discussion with you and your associates, and we'll figure all this out. I don't want to jump to conclusions. Let's head back over there first. And so I'm gonna because it's so difficult to get all of the pieces all together. I'm gonna bring you all back, and have you all meet all together. Don't worry about playing multiple people or whatever. I'll just handle that part. Just speak up if you want to speak up, but otherwise, I'll work it all out. So, the King's son Iatudi comes back. The king seems better. Resting and having first aid ministrations done to him is definitely helpful. They bring out a stretcher. They take him to the king's house. All of these people are milling around. While you are being investigated on this side, your champions, and while the stewards are having a discussion, the crowds start to disperse, except for anyone who's like really assisting the king's the king's son, and then this side, some of them stay and join, some of them have discussions, whatever, but most of these people are going to disperse, specifically because as time goes on and the sand comes down, there's no dome anymore. Like the wind is blowing, the dome is gone, so they're going to try they're going to start leaving. People are coming in. Medical aid is being provided to anyone who needs it from outside. There are go ahead.
So the dragon didn't kill everyone outside.
Well, it did, but it's been several days. So
okay. So people came back.
I would say not very many, like maybe some people who were going to help, but they're like bunkered down, like hidden or whatever. And when the dome comes down, they're all going to see like a huge explosion, right? So they're going to assume that people need aid. Anyone who is around, not many, but there are some people specifically for the king's house, because like, how could you just leave the king here? So they're going to come in, provide medical aid, specifically potions to anyone who's wounded, inside and out of this space. Even Loro will be provided a healing potion because he's bleeding all over the place after the knife comes out again. I assume you take it back out unless you want to be Bisque this whole time.
I definitely take it out. I don't want to be Bisque anymore at all.
Are you going to provide that knife to...
Oh yeah, it was part of the deal, right? Provide the quote-unquote murder weapon.
So you're all standing around. This knife has been provided. Ricky's gone. Ricky was in the explosion. Oh yeah, so Bubbles can go and look for Ricky if you'd like.
Yeah, because unfortunately I have to kind of go.
No, you're good. You're good.
I feel bad.
No, that's fine. I'm rolling up. I'm finishing up, so you can peace out if you need to. No problem. You provided the assassin. You did your job. Salutes.
I should watch the VOD to figure out what the hell is going on, because I
for sure. I'll explain it. No problem. So
okay.
Thank you so much. You're great.
Thank you.
The knife is provided. This assassin is investigated more fully than was possible when he was moving, and he does have a pin just like all the other assassins did, hidden within his clothing. And the king, well, I'll say the king stays passed out because, I mean, he's got to, right? It's only been maybe an hour. King's out. Iatudi assumes
that would
command.
Be some power nap.
Yeah, right. Even with potions and stuff, they can't revitalize him past this like weariness. So the king goes into his house for recovery. Iatudi assumes control of the entire sigil, starts ordering commands around. A ladder basically is sort of created and brought over. The sword is pulled out of Lance, and Lance's body is brought down and moved away for a ceremony later. And all of the stuff you've been providing to the king is worked through, or to the king's son, Iatudi, is worked through, and the symbols are compared basically right in front of you, because why not? The symbols on the knife, some of them match the symbols on the monolith, some of them match the vision that Loro had of the tattooed man, maybe one or two of the ones that you saw on his hand. The Grand Marshal got a full look at one of their whole bodies, so he's gonna see a bunch of symbols that are relevant but not necessarily mean anything because it's a different language. Gaspe. And so they start piecing together a timeline. Of course, this sort of investigation takes time, and eventually it does come to light that there were several witnesses who saw Iatudi go down, or at least go behind the house, before the explosion, which he definitely did not do. You're talking to Iatudi, and everyone is agreeing that Iatudi's right here. People, just because Iatudi can't tell, he starts doing sort of like an experiment, right? And he brings someone over and he says, I apologize for this. Will you please volunteer for this experiment? And they say yes. And he says, please stab this into your arm, or if you can't, I will do it. And so they take the knife that you provided, stab this person. That person becomes Loro with a parrot. And then they pull it out, give that person a potion, heal him up, and they're like, okay, interesting. And then they take another person and they say, please, do this experiment. Stab the person. The person becomes the person before, right? So you work out that it's whatever blood is on the knife from someone who isn't the body that it's going into.
Why is the parrot there?
You're connected, right? Are you not connected by...
Well, just magically.
Just magically? If it's just magically, then there... Yeah, well, true. But if it's just magically and there is no, like, sustenance or whatever going through, then
no, there isn't. No,
okay,
there
okay.
isn't.
I thought it was more symbiotic and, like, you couldn't...
No, not really.
Okay.
It's like the thoughts are shared and, like, every cognition is shared, but not necessarily...
Okay.
Yeah, biologically.
Okay. So, then with that second person, Iatudi does sort of an experiment where they rub the chest, and even though you can't see it, Iatudi is able to feel the knife. So they bring everyone together and start doing these checks, and everyone is checked on their chest, sort of patted down, in order to confirm that they are who they say they are, because at this point no one believes anyone.
Is Iatudi himself checked?
Yeah, of course. Iatudi's checked. Everyone's
I'm
checked.
just saying that Gerald would probably suggest that Bisk's body is checked as well.
Okay, you would know that it didn't work on the dead guy.
Right, but
okay, sure. They check Bisk's body.
Case, yeah.
They find a bunch of random notes of just deals that had to be made along the way and stuff. He's got a notebook and he's got his little wand and all this stuff. He's very proper, and he's also bled everywhere, but he doesn't have a knife or anything sticking out of him anywhere.
Has the king been checked by any chance?
Not necessarily in front of you, but they would send, I guess, a couple people to check everyone who's protecting the king and also the king. No other knives are found. Wait, hold on. This one went that way. Because you have two of them.
Giving it away.
You have them two now. Yeah. You know that 3 were commissioned. There are only 2 that are located. One from the dead assassin and one from Bisk. And go ahead.
No, carry on. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So from here, your story is not only accepted, but it does seem to come to light that even though you were involved somehow underneath, which you try to explain that you met this entity and all of that junk, that makes you seem crazy. But the circumstances of this knife, If you don't want to tell anything about that entity, it would be difficult to describe how you were involved with the explosion and lived when everyone else underneath died. But
magic.
It is magic, right? And Bisk also did it. So the Grand Marshal could probably explain it away by saying, I was touching the monolith, blah, 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 if you wanted to. But that's not super important. But it is generally accepted that you helped to save the king and the empire from some sort of plot. And that plot involved bringing a bunch of people, a bunch of mercenaries into the sigil underneath the dome, even though it was closed, for some nefarious reason that they never got to do because you helped to blow them all up and then you stopped Bisk, right? That's the generally accepted series of events. And from here, your houses are celebrated. You are rewarded. The rewards sort of can be whatever you want, but I have some ideas of things that Iatudi would give to you, and then the king, in a ceremony later, would formally announce and give to you. And all of these events would be celebrated and then immediately wiped away from anybody, talking about it, because of course Blake would come and do a ceremony and all of that stuff. Ricky, for example, is not ever found. You all tell a heroic story of Ricky jumping down onto Bisk, the bad guy Iatudi. While he was Iatudi, you all say this stuff. A very normal looking statue is erected in a very nice garden of Ricky, sort of in the capital, where people could come and visit this hero who helped to save the king. And the trailer or the Wagon Park Boys are funded quite heavily. They do almost nothing with it except gamble or something like that, whatever they choose to do. But a lot of them are set for life. Their house is set for life, right? And then, like I said, I have ideas for how the rest of you are rewarded. If you would like to know, or if you want to choose your own, that's fine.
No, I'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
Cool. So after the ceremony, the Coggers are not necessarily accepted as a religion for the Empire because, and only because, you turned down the deal with Iatudi to become that religion, right? So you've already said...
It didn't make sense for us anyways. We like to be niche.
But even though you are... sort of the information about the Coggers is spread far and wide, how a lot of the stories that come out are like really miraculous things that occurred, like a fountain of sand sent into the sky is sometimes attributed to the Coggers only and none of you else, and people surviving an explosion that couldn't possibly be survived, it's like sort of attributed to a miracle that may have occurred with the Coggers religion. So it's very much more looked upon as beneficial to be a part of the Cog religion, and that spreads sort of around more. You also, of course, get funding if you so choose, maybe a second or third airship beyond what you have already.
Nice.
Coggers.
Let's go, Coggers!
The House of Spark with an S. You had previously made deals with Princess Lance in order to create green spaces in lots of cities and capitals and stuff, or in the capital as well, and those are all fully created, as well as this monument here becomes considered like people call it like the Lance in the desert, or the Lance in the Empire, or whatever. This becomes like a pilgrimage spot, right? Even though it is also the sigil, they move where the sigil occurs. This spot with the monolith in it, people come and sort of like use the monolith to create more magic and more than they could possibly do. So the bowl is filled with water and a walkway is put up to the monolith, and then there's green all around it. It's like a beautiful oasis that springs up around this monolith. And and all of your city parks and beautification environmental stuff goes forth and is accepted, not only because you helped to save the king, but also because it was sort of already agreed upon. Even the monument and the remembrance of Princess Lance that Bisk said he would create for you, even though it's wildly way too much, is created, and everyone does that. And it's also used as, like a park and a meeting spot and all of that stuff. And it has more uses beyond just being green and pretty, right? Or being a remembrance.
Yep.
And then, exactly. And there are species that have been sort of ostracized to the outside of the kingdom or endangered or whatever, and there are spaces made specifically for them under your care and guidance before your journey to a new land. And that journey is fully funded as well with a ship and any provisions you might need for that journey that you will hopefully undertake. Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see how long it takes
Watch out
to
for
get
the
to the
parrots.
Watch out for the parrots. Speaking of the parrots, having made a deal with the House of Stars, begin to work with the House of Stars. Your previous indiscretions of piracy are forgiven.
Okay, well, they're gonna continue, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna...
Right, of course. But I just want to make sure that
Unless it's a constant blind eye.
it's a more favorable eye, not blind, but
just partially blind.
Right, not Empire condoned, but Empire ignored, maybe sometimes, most of the time. And the House of Stars begins to change your image from the inside out. They guide you to very specific booty, very specific halls, right? So the fortune teller you met cruises on your ship with you and helps you to find more lucrative, beneficial amounts of gold or sphere or whatever, gems and all of that stuff. But because you're sort of allowing this person to guide you, not that you have to, but the things that they point you towards are very Robin Hood-esque. Like you're stealing from a very like a dastardly tyrannical sort of house, right? And so you steal a bunch of money, and to you, you're just getting money, but to everyone else who hears stories, they're like, oh, maybe those parrot people aren't so bad.
Okay, I just wanna point something out when we define what the parrots are. They're like not a unified fleet.
Right.
They're a bunch of people and they all do their own thing, but they kind of meet up and share their stories at their base, and they got a lot of autonomy. So maybe this is the most influential ship and crew and whatever of them all. So that could work in their favor in terms of how other people look at them. But there are still some really cruel pirates out there, parrot pirates out there. Okay.
Any of the parrot ships that choose to sail with the House of Stars, they experience much more wealth than these others. More easily, I guess. So yeah, there are definitely pirates who are out there just killing people for whatever reason they choose. But the House of Stars is clearly beneficial. They have actual fortune-telling sort of premonition power, and they do take you to wild amounts of wealth, like wild amounts of wealth.
Just want to understand one thing real quick. So you remember how the recruiting quote-unquote process works, right?
Yes.
Join or die. Join the hive mind, you mean? Well, not really a hive mind, but join up with a parrot or die. So unless some people are crazy enough to willingly give up their bodies to be controlled by the parrots, well, well, they're still gonna need to do some
Yes.
cruel stuff, right?
Of course.
You just make
It
sure
would
there's no
still be
survivors to
feared.
tell you. Yeah, to tell of the actual joining process.
Yes, and because you're robbing from more lucrative places and more sinister houses, the House of Stars people, the fortune tellers, they're not going to stop you or anything like that. They already know what you do and who you are. But the people you find are going to be more healthy. They're going to have worked out. They're going to have they're richer, so they're more healthy already. So not only do you get the benefit of more money, but your hosts are just better stock, I guess you would say.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're still seen with better eyes, even though we essentially kill people by making them join. Okay. Well, not kill, but
well, all these people are dead
for 15 years.
All right, cool. Thanks, Itro.
Yeah.
Later, Itro.
Bye.
Yeah. So essentially, for 15 years, that person is out of commission.
Right.
Yeah.
And none of the House of Stars is going to agree to that, but everybody you pick up is going to be cleaner, healthier, all of that stuff. What am I missing? Music is the only one left, right? Except trailer. Wagon Park Boys. So the House of Music creates, under guidance of the Iatudi and everything. You already had all of these institutions and stuff like that. It becomes far less of a joke. Far less of people immediately responding with, "Oh, music, haha, play me something," and more like, "Oh, you take courses for music. I do too. I took this course," or like comparing courses, having discussions.
Yeah.
You're brought in because you basically brought all of this information about the daggers and how the monolith might work and all that stuff. You're allowed to do inspections of the monolith and all that stuff in the future. You also get to see the one that they have in the capital, because like Iatudi said, the goal is to bring it more wide so that more people have the benefit of it. So you're sort of one of the heads of doing all of this research, and your institute grows larger. There are more wings put in. There are historical wings put in for museum stuff, arts, and all sorts of wings. You basically have in the capital a campus. In truth, because it's huge, it's many buildings, and you're able to provide information not only on magic but on really anything you want to provide courses on, and people start coming to you in order to trade information, gain information. Huge library is erected over time in order to disseminate all of this knowledge, and all of the knowledge can come into this area. But you also have reputable institutes sort of all scattered around the empire from coast to coast, as you will. And it is in one of these buildings that I think late at night we might find the professor walking by himself, just sort of musing on things, if that's something he might do.
Yeah.
And in that,
enjoying his younger body feeling.
Right. Yes. The three of you who are reconstituted do feel that. And as you walk through the dark halls, you occasionally hear a wind that only you can hear. And you must ponder on the things that escape you. You learn more about the language and the monolith and all of that stuff, but you yourself become a mystery to yourself. And with that wind that only the professor can hear in the dark, that is the end of the tale. The Ashien mystery technically solved. Nice.
Well, yeah, technically.
Technically.
Close enough.
I appreciate playing with you and playing through it. I know it's super late. We don't